ETV Sports presents Eagan Wildcat Football. Tonight, the Wildcats take on the Lakeville South Cougars.
Quarterback is number 11, number 14, Nicky Hansen. Ball carrier 24, and number 22, and the tackle number 60, Matt Davis. David runs second and 9, Wildcats in the 36-yard line. Pass complete, touchdown number 11, Tate Sonberg. He's down immediately at the Wildcat 34-yard line. So loss of about 2, 3rd and 11 for the Wildcats at the 34-yard line.
Welcome inside Wildcat Country, the start of the 2017 football season. Mike Cook along with Ken Merwin this year, our new color analyst here on the ETV broadcast. Glad you're with us tonight, and especially welcome to those of you watching us on the website, Eagan TV. Just barely a minute and a half into this game, Cats set to punt after a 3-and-out that gained a negative 3 yards, a short punt, and Lakeville South is going to get really good field position after a favorable bounce. They're going to start at their own 40-yard line. 2:02 just gone in this one. As we said, 3-and-out for the Wildcats. Caden Hansen, number 14, will be the Wildcat quarterback. Keep an eye on him tonight. He's a tall signal caller back there. And here comes the Lakeville South Cougars. They're going to be moving right to left across your screen. Tyler Krebs, the new coach this year down at Lakeville South. Spent the last 6 years up at Burnsville really turning that program around. Talked to him before the game we did, Ken, and he was pretty high on what he's seen thus far to the Cougars.
So far, so good for this Lakeville South team. They did lose last week, but they have high hopes. George
Brecky, the signal caller for the Cougars. He'll hand it off to number 3. That is Jeremiah Jacobson. We will see him an awful lot tonight. Jacobson a week ago up at Edina, 11 carries, 97 yards. Logan Gudmundsson last week, 11 for 51 up at Edina. However, an MCL injury has him on the shelf. Unfortunately for Cougar fans, they're not sure how long he's going to be out. Could be up 4 to 6 weeks is kind of what Krebs was thinking. So 2nd and 5 for the Cougars, their first offensive series of the night. Here comes Jacobson going right, cuts outside. He'll get a first down and more out across the 50 down to almost the Eagan 45-yard line, where he's taken down right in front of the Lakeville South bench. Looks like coming up from his secondary position was Melville for the Wildcats, number 23. You see we are scoreless here in Wildcat Country. 1st and 10 for the Cougars at the Eagan 45-yard line after that 10-yard run by number 3 Jacobson. And for those of you that watch Eagan for a while, new look out there, new unis this year.
Do got some new unis. Hopefully new unis, new season. Let's get some wins, Eagan.
Dark gray with the blue numbers at home this year. Straight up the middle, that's going to be number 44 for a first down for the Cougars. He barrels his way forward. That's Jared Stewart, the fullback for this South squad. 11-yard pickup, first down Cougars. We talked before the game, and we saw last week Eagan coming off. They lost at Minnetonka 42-7. Tonka is, I think, 6th or 8th in the state rankings right now, so not bad to lose to Tonka. But the Cats stayed with them for about 20 minutes in that game, and then they just kind of ran out of gas.
They really did, Mike. You know, they did stay with them early on, and those numbers being down, it's easy to get tired.
Brecky under center. This is number 22 on the carry for the Cougars. That's TJ Nelson getting the start in place of the injured Gummonson tonight. And he'll get a minimal gain there on first down, if any. And we're going to say 0 officially on that carry. Something on the stop for the Eagan Wildcats.
Call it 2nd and 10.
Up front for the Cats right now, you've got number 2, Drew Grunkley. 23 is Michael Melville. Or check that. That's the secondary, I should say. Isaac Hofstad, Jackson McCollum back in that secondary for the Wildcats. Isley and Quanta, Tommy Schultz in at linebacker right now for the Wildcats. Here's Jacobson. Gets a little bit of a seam, taken down by a number of Wildcats after a minimal pickup. Number 8 in there, McCollum, among others, for the Wildcats. Going to bring up about a 3rd and 7, maybe 3rd and 8.
A defensive stand here would be big for the Wildcats. They put up a couple nice stops last week against Tonka. Early and often would be nice. Get that football back.
Bubba Lear, he's a defensive lineman for the Wildcats, along with Ryan Meekin. Mason West is the nose tackle tonight. Jack Stump up there, along with number 24, Antoine McClenty. Here goes South coming left side. They're going to get the first down and across the Wildcat 25 down to about the 22-yard line. Give them 10. It's Jacobson on the carry. Fresh set of downs for the Cougars.
Boy, the Wildcats had the box just filled up, Mike, and he got around the corner, and there's your first down yardage.
Ball's going to be spotted at the Wildcat 21 with 7:36 to go here in the opening quarter on ETV. And I said, special welcome to those of you watching us on the World Wide Web tonight. Glad to have you with us here from Wildcat Country. 1st and 10 from the Wildcat 21. Brecky under center. Yet to throw the football tonight. Gives it straight up the fullback. And he's down inside the Wildcat 10-yard line. The big fullback, we said, number 44 is Zach Stelzer for the Cougars. Just a downhill runner there. He took that ball, two hands around the ball. And it's going to be 1st and goal for the Cougars. First scoring opportunity of the night for either squad. As we said, the Cats, they went 3 and out. After a nice kick return by Tate Sundberg, got him out to the 35.
They may have won the toss and opted to receive. They want to get out early, and that's one way to do it.
And we've got a timeout taken by the Eagan Wildcats. Coach Ben Hansen out there to talk to the guys. First timeout for either squad. We said this is the home opener for the Wildcats, and it's got a beach theme for the pit tonight. They're all down there. They've got there's some beach balls flopping around down in the student section, a couple inner tubes flying around.
They're having a good time.
Got the look going down there for the pit.
Yeah, they really do. It's the beach night, the blackout, the whiteout, the pink out, I believe.
Yeah, you look at Eagan, fans know last year was just an awful season. There's just no way to sugarcoat it. They were 0-9, badly outplayed in the majority of those games. But, talking to Coach Hansen the other day, he said there's a buzz around school right now for this team. It's a new season, new opportunity, just new everything. And to see if they can come out and do something well tonight as Jacobson is going to get down inside. His muscles his way. Is he going to get to the end zone? He does. Touchdown, Cougars.
Real good yards after contact. He did get hit several times in the box. Took it all the way in from the 9.
8 plays on that drive, went 60 yards for the Cougars, and they go up by a 6-0 count. As you look at the student section on the Eagan side, we mentioned the beach out theme, and there goes the flying things, toys. Jackson Paradise in for the PAT for the Cougars. The holder will be number 12, Tyler Mallman. He's the backup quarterback tonight for the Cougars. Kick is up. Looks plenty of distance. Looks good, and the officials agree. So 7:19 to go in the first. It's 7-0 for Lakeville South. Okay, not the start that the Wildcats needed to get some momentum going here in front of the home crowd.
You want to get out early when you're trying to rebuild a program, and they opted to receive after having won the toss. Nice kick return, 3 and out. Let's see if the defense can come back on this next round of the Cougars when they have the ball. Right now, let's get this offense going.
As we mentioned, Caden Hansen, he'll be the signal caller for the Wildcats. He's number 14. Big kid, 6'2", 175. He threw a lot of nice balls at Minnetonka a week ago when he had time.
I would agree. He definitely could check down, and again, it's all about having time. And we don't have the biggest offensive line, so time is quite valuable.
You're talking to some of the coaches, and they said the bigger issue at Minnetonka last week for that offensive line, which, quite frankly, you almost had a red cape and Olayed it a few times, but communication was an issue.
Yep.
Players just didn't connect with one another, blocking left, blocking right, and left too many gaps for the Minnetonka Skippers, and they definitely took advantage. Cats looking to get something going this time. Another nice return out to the 27-yard line for the Eagan Wildcats, and the ball carrier, I believe, was going to be is Sundberg, and it is number 11. Sundberg, one of the guys in this squad that does a lot of different things. Plays wide out, returns kicks, plays a little linebacker at times. So Eagan going to take over at their own 27-yard line. 7:11 to go here in the opening quarter. Remember 7-Elevens?
I do actually,
Thinking
Mike.
Slurpee time.
Right on, I'm ready. Not quite hot enough, but I'll take one.
Exactly. They even still exist anywhere. I have no idea. Hanson calling out signals. Looks into the sun. He's got number 9 in the backfield with him. That's Carter Lyons. Could be one of the workhorses this year in the Eagan running game. Everybody's set. Hanson, low snap, picks it up. Doesn't have a lot of time. He's going to roll left, keep rolling. He's going to have to keep it himself, and he'll get out of bounds out near the 30-yard line. Give him 3 on that on the scramble. Good coverage downfield by the Cougars. You saw Hanson looking left the entire way.
Yeah, and again, with the bad snap, you're kind of improvising from the minute, and he couldn't even get a handle on it right away when he tried to pick it up, but he made something out of it, caught 4.
2nd and 6 upcoming for the Cats. They're going to give him 4 officially on that one. Hanson's going to be alone in the backfield. Lyons comes out to the near side and swing pass headed his way. Oh, that's going to be, that should have been a pick 6. Read all the way by Lakeville South's Tavian Layden. And that had 6 all over
He
it.
saw it all the way, Mike, from the minute the ball was snapped. He drew a bead. He knew that bubble screen was coming.
He will never get a pass that easy again.
No, that was right on the numbers.
So 3rd and 6 upcoming for the Wildcats. This will be their 6th play on offense. Unofficially, they have 1 yard in 5 plays. Unofficially. Should be a passing situation, you would think, for the Cats. And it will be. Hanson drops, scrambles, look out. He's looking near side. Got a man out across the 40. First down, Wildcats out across the 45-yard line.
Nice
Is number 12,
completion.
Cam LaChance, the tight end. And
Yeah, he had
chains.
just enough time, Mike, to kind of scramble away from the pressure when it did come, and looked out in the flat, and there was his receiver.
First down at the Wildcat 45-yard line. 6.5 to go here, opening quarter. Cats down by 7.
On the move.
In the home opener. Lyons alone in the backfield with Hanson. Lyons stutter steps, looking for some help, looking for some room. He's going to end up losing a yard. Absolutely dropped hard to the turf by big number 45 of the Cougars. As we look at the Cougar roster, number 45 is Zach Stelzer. You know, I think I might have said he was 44 earlier on the offense. 44 is Jared Stewart, the running back. Stelzer, 45, Pete Eklund, 48, are the 2 returning leading tacklers for this Cougar squad. So I would imagine we will see them an awful lot tonight.
Well, they stood their ground in the box there, and the jump cut was almost bought him some time, but not to be.
Again, he made that jump cut, and there was about 3 white-shirted Cougars there.
Jumped right into him.
Lyons, he'll go out to the left. Hanson snap, looks that way, comes back near side. He's got his man out.
Taking it inside.
That's Tower.
Right.
He'll get across the 50 down to about the 49-yard line. First catch of the night for the Eagan wideout, Jake Tower. It's about a 6-yard pickup on that one. Boy, and if you're an Eagan fan, you're thinking, when was the last time the Cats threw the ball like this? I mean, do you drift back to the Drew Bauer days of about 6 years ago?
You want that balanced attack, especially when you got size issues.
So it's going to be 3rd and 4. Hanson's going to go far side. Got his man. That's Sundberg looking for the block. Gets it. Sundberg got 40 down to the 37-yard line. Give him 12 first down Cats.
You know, Mike, you just talked about Tate Sundberg, a real balanced athlete, and could very well really factor in highly tonight.
13 yards on the reception. First down at the south 36-yard line.
Cats on the move.
This will be the 7th play of the drive upcoming as we approach 5 minutes to go here, opening quarter on ETV. Hanson to Lyons. Lyons tries to cut it up, makes a little bit of a move, falls forward to about the 32, maybe the 31-yard line. 4, maybe 5 on that play. But you got to get that run established to make them, like you said, think about the the multiple dimensional offense. They're going to give them 5 officially.
Nice game.
Down to the 31-yard line. Tight formation for the Cats. Hanson is going to come near side. This is Sundberg once again. Tries to elude one man, falls forward out the 30, maybe a pickup of 1. So it's going to be 3rd and about 4 upcoming for the Eagan Wildcats. Probably, I would imagine, 4 down territory at this point.
I would think so, Mike.
Nate Willis, their kicker last week from 40, he hit the upright.
He did.
With room to spare. Willis, I believe, he's a junior this year. Been around a long time.
Hey,
it seems like it.
He's been kicking for a while.
Kicking as a freshman and kicked last year.
Like you said, too, Mike, last week they played a good quarter and a half with that Minnetonka team, and then the cardio kind of set in with those numbers. But that hitting of the upright would have been a big field goal for the Cats last week.
Yeah, because unfortunately, right after that, Tonka went right down and scored, put them up 14-7. And it went all downhill from there for your Eagan Wildcats. And we've got whistles aplenty. Let's see what the whistles are going to be all about tonight. Okay. Yep. Rick Hardy, I believe, is our referee this evening. Rick will confer with one of his co-officials. It's 3rd and 5 at the 31. 4:02 to go opening quarter. As long as we got an opportunity, let's quick weather check. About 70 degrees tonight. A little bit of a breeze coming crosswind across the field. I do not see a cloud in the sky.
No, I don't either.
These are the nights you remember when we're out here in mid to late October.
Yep, I would agree. It's perfect football weather tonight. Not that those nights in October aren't. This is just really warm, perfect football weather.
Those nights in October, you're not wearing shorts.
Nope. Some of us shouldn't wear shorts anyways, Mike.
And the pit would not be doing a beach out.
Probably not. It wouldn't land. Here we go.
As long as we don't have snow shovels out, we're fine, right? Hanson looks like he's going to audible. I thought he was actually going to go under center for the first time tonight. Did not. He'll stay back. Chance will move in motion there, number 12. Hanson fake the Lions, throw it far side, just behind his intended receiver on the far side.
Well, we'll see if it's 4 down territory here. I would assume, Mike, that it is.
Got to be, doesn't it?
I would think so.
Looks like the pass was intended out there for number 8, McCollum.
Good route. He was open.
So 3:38 to go in a key situation here. 4th and 5. See if the Cats can keep this drive going and keep the momentum going. Oh, got to get the ball spotted correctly. They do. Brett Heinlein, he'll be ready to snap it back to Hanson. Heinlein 56, the Wildcats center. And as I said, I look down and it's Drew Aldred at center tonight for the Wildcats. Hanson, a little bit of a high snap. Looks. He's going for it all. And too far for his intended receiver. And the Lakeville South Cougars going to take over on downs with 3:31 to go here on the opening quarter on ETV.
Well, not a bad drive for the Wildcats. They picked up a first down. They moved the ball both on the ground a little bit and certainly through the air. And as we talked about, you got to establish one before you can get the other one to click. So not a bad offensive set. Let's see if the defense can step up for us.
10-play drive that time for the Wildcats.
Encouraging.
So we'll have George Brecky bringing out the Lakeville South Cougars here on offense.
They've gotten yards on the ground, Mike, both between the tackles and around the end, so the run game's got to pick up defensively.
And this is going to be Jacobson, I believe, off the left side. He'll get about 3 yards out to the 34-yard line. Stump with the stop for the Wildcats. Look at that Eagan defense you see out there. We said number 44 down on the line for the Wildcats, Ryan Meek, and he's 6'2", 182. Just another example of Eagan, not a lot of size in the trenches this year.
No, they got to be quick. They got to make those plays. They got to hit those gaps. They have to rely on everything but pure size.
Cougars yet to throw, as we say, and here they come, or they go, I should say. And too far for his intended target was the pass from Brecky. And it's going to be 3rd and long for the Lakeville South Cougars. I believe number 86 was the intended target.
That's our freshman.
And how big is he?
He's like 6'9", 220 on the program.
Riley Malman is his name, and Tyler Krebs said he's the one to keep an eye on over the next few years.
He's committed. He put the time in as a freshman. He's got a high IQ for the sport. Also a basketball player, Mike.
Spent a lot of time in the weight room in the offseason, I was told. Well, we have a penalty on the play.
I don't know, maybe 6'9", 220. He might be skinny for that height, so he may want to stay in that weight room, but he was wide open on that play, and, if he would have caught that ball, downhill would not have been hard for a guy his size.
5-yard loss for the Cougars. I'm sorry, I missed what the infraction was.
I did. I apologize. I did as well.
So it's going to be 2nd and 12. And they're just going to go there once again. Hey, let's go right back. That's going to be a first down across the middle. Big hit out there by the Wildcats, but it is a first down for the Cougars as number 17 with the reception for South. That would be Brady Torberg. Another one of those do-it-everything for your team kind of kids. Torberg is listed as the punter, punt returner, wideout, and D-back.
That is a guy you want on your squad.
Exactly. Yeah, we're going to go to the delayed handoff, read very well by the Eagan defense, wrapped up by a number of the Wildcats, including number 53 Aldred and number 2, that is, for the Wildcats.
That was a good stand. After that last completion, kind of that little play action thing there with the handoff quick inside, it looked like people were going to make space, but they held their ground for just essentially almost about a 2-yard gain.
We said you got the new Eagan numbers this year, dark gray with dark blue numbers. A little hard to read. We're still getting used to those ourselves, so please, we ask you to bear with us. And good play by the Wildcat D. Number of them getting in there on the stop. Leading the way was number 1 Mason West from his line position. Isaac Hofstad up as well to help out for the Cats. That was Jacobson, had nowhere to go that time.
Watch that replay here, and you see incredible penetration on the end there. He just wrapped his guy up and took him in. Gave his colleagues an opportunity to come up and make that gang tackle.
Yeah, first man there was West. So -2 on that run. 3rd and 10 upcoming for the Cougars. So we're on to 1:17 to go here in the opening quarter on ETV. Brecky looking to throw. Going right side. Only man there is the Wildcat. Inside the 50, 34, 40, 35. Deep down into Lakeville, South territory. Melville with the pick for the Wildcats. That's his 2nd in 2 games.
Big plays are what Eagan needs to turn this game and this season around. Special teams, defensive picks, fumbles, fumble recoveries. Those are the things that are going to get Eagan back on track here this season, Mike.
So on the Lakeville South 20, after a roughly 40-yard return for Melville. Actually 45 maybe. 1:03 to go, opening quarter. Cats almost in the red zone, trailing by a 7-0 count.
Got to get those sticks lined up, it looks like, Mike.
Mentioned a couple guys up front for the Wildcats. Antonio Steppin's in there right now. It looks like Jack Rochwater's in there at left guard. Take the handoff across the middle. Going for the end zone and nearly picked off.
Well, there almost could have been a flag on that. It was incidental. Yeah, if you see the replay, if they show it, he ran into him, but it's kind of a gray area.
Yep, Tower, the intended target for the Wildcats.
Going back to that interception, Mike, Coach Hansen talked about there's a buzz on campus right now. Big plays like that, at any given point in the game can really get the crowd going. And the pit's doing a great job as well down there for us.
So we got the band here tonight as well. They're in all their regalia.
Perfect night of football.
Absolutely. And we'll be home a week from tonight on the 15th when the Rosemount Irish make the trek up Highway 3. Here's Lyons, tries to scoot to the outside, breaks a couple tackles. Can he go the distance? And he's down near the goal line. Big run by Lyons. I believe it's going to be 18 yards down to the 2.
That is A for second effort on that one, Mike. He did run into some resistance right away, but he kept those legs moving and took it all the way down. We just talked about red zone. He must have heard us. See the replay. He's jump cut outside.
49.1 to go opening quarter. Cats from the 2. Line low in the backfield with Hansen. Snap, Hansen going to roll right. Will he keep it up? He's going to throw across his body, and that ball is entered. Oh, it is caught. Touchdown, Cats. 6 points, Eagan. I believe it's McCollum, number 8. Jackson McCollum with the catch.
That's why you do the tip drill, Mike.
Let's take a look at this one. 1, 2, 3. Third one is a charm.
Well, and just behind the intended receiver. May have been tipped by a Cougar player as well.
She's going to look right here.
That might have been a completion right out of the bat if it wasn't for that tip by the Cougar player.
And the Cats, they get the 2-point conversion as well. 8-7 Eagan Wildcats.
Wow. Nicely done.
Everybody you saw the line, they lined up on the left side. Quick snap. Give them 2.
Well, historically, they always
wait a minute. Hang on.
over.
We've got a holding call against Lakeville South. They will decline that. Give the Cats the points. Coach Ben Hansen and the Wildcats, they are pumped.
Eagan with the lead.
39.7 to go here in the first.
It happened so quick. Here's the replay.
Quick snap, quick throw. Here he is. Knocked right down on his keister, but hanging on. That's Sundberg we mentioned earlier.
Oh, we sure have.
5'9", 175, but he plays bigger.
He sure does, and he's a lacrosse player for this Eagan High School as well, and undoubtedly a multi-talented kid. We're going to rely heavily and hopefully calling his name all night tonight.
Yeah, the Pitt's got something to be excited about. She mentioned some of the other games going on tonight. We've got Edina down at Rosemount, Tar Lakes at Maple Grove, Apple Valley, who's now in 5A. They're up at St. Thomas Academy. That should be a good ball game.
That could be a good game.
Farmington's at Shakopee, Eastview's over at Burnsville. And Eden Prairie, Lakeville North or something? Is that? I guess that's somebody said that's kind of a big one.
That could be a big game.
Got to root for North, don't you? Even if you're a Lakeville South fan, don't you got to root for North? Just to beat
I
Eden
think
Prairie.
so. Here we go.
Kicking off for the Cats. Should be Willis. And the junior sends it on its way. Caught back at about the 13-yard line. Coming near side, Jacobson. Nice job downfield by the Wildcats. In on the stop, I believe it's Vinny LeBert, number 30.
That's a great open field tackle. I would say half the time that guy can squeeze out of that, but after a big play, big drive, big score, big 2-point conversion, you hang on a little bit tighter when you got a chance to shut somebody down.
You know, it's always great kids like that, too. They're on the special teams. They come up, they make a big play. Get their name out there, get on the highlight reel.
It's definitely part of the program, offense, defense, special teams.
He said it's a beach out here in Wildcat Country week 1. Jacobson, we're going to see him a lot, we expect all game. Gets to the outside, and he's taken out at about the 36-yard line. Melville, I believe, dragged him down, got a little bit of help right in front of the Wildcat bench over there by number 7 in Quanta. And we've got a Cat very slow to get up. Might be in Quanta, I'm not sure. Don't have a good look. Coaches are in the way. 22 is actually the man that's down for the Wildcats. That's Jake Tower.
The Cats defense turned that play inside nicely, as you'll see. But that second, the second effort, he turned that corner. He did hang on. And it was 22 who made the stop and also did slow to get up. Might have turned a joint or something.
Let's see. He's
Coach
Jansen over. He'll give him a hand. Actually, it's Melville, 23. Check that. That's what I thought. I didn't think Tower played defense. So you see the score then on your screen there. It's 8-7 Eagan Wildcats. Let's hope for Melville that's nothing too serious. Tape him up a little bit. He'll be good to go. So Jacobson with 12 on that carry. Like it so much, he'll try it again. Actually, and he's going to be wrapped up at about the 38-yard line on what should be the final play of the quarter. So we got 12 minutes gone by, and it's 8-7 in favor of the Eagan Wildcats. And there's the official with the final signal. We're going to switch ends. There's our score after 8-7 Wildcats. McCollum on the tip drill. Tip, catch. 2-yard pass from Hansen gave the Wildcats that 8-7 lead.
Well, Egan's had a balanced game in that first quarter. They've had some special teams play. They've moved the ball. They've had big plays. They've made some big tackles. So far, so good. I think the Eagan Wildcats and the coaching staff should be happy with that first quarter.
Yeah, let's take an opportunity to mention some of the other sports going on here at Eagan High School right now. We are well underway in the fall season, and today is September the 8th. So swim team beat Burnsville 106-80 on Thursday night. Laura Mitchell, Jen Leonards, Jenna Jorger, Libby Fisher, pool records in both the 200 and 400 free.
Wow.
Tennis team beat Burnsville 6-1 Thursday. So they got beat by Edina 7-0 the other day. Edina's usually pretty good.
They split the twin bell. Yes, they are a tennis town.
Samantha Nichols, I believe, still leading the way for the Wildcat tennis team. So we get set to go here, second quarter action here on ETV. As we said, special shout out to those of you watching us on the World Wide Web tonight. We appreciate you being with us. Inside handoff, cutting to the outside, and tripped up on the far side. Try to see who that was for the Eagan Wildcats.
Dare I say it was Tate Sundberg, but I'm not sure.
No, it was not. It was number 10. That was Isaac Hofstad for the Wildcats, making the nice stop on the carry by Nelson.
Clutch tackle because he got drawn inside, shoestring tackle, but boy, when things can go your way, they'll go your way.
Yeah, shoestring singular. I don't think that was two.
No, I don't think it was either, Mike.
He gets past him, and it might be first down Cougars. 3rd and 7 from their own 40. Brecky looking to throw. Good pressure by the Cats. Brecky's got to scramble. He's got to get rid of it. He does. And that ball is caught right at midfield. They are going to say he got in. Number 21 for the Cougars. That is Ty Willman, a senior for the Cougars.
Going to move the sticks. Good pressure, too. But, the longer you get a chance to run those routes, the longer you get a chance to get yourself open. Nice pass.
Even better job getting his feet in bounds.
Did a real nice job.
Good coverage out there by the Wildcats.
We couldn't see him, but we have to assume that he had what he needed to have down.
Yeah, we saw the replay. He was good. It was a good call by the officials.
Nice completion.
Fresh set of downs. Straight handoff up the middle. This is the big fullback. He's going to get 7-8 yards on first down. We're going to make sure we get his name right this time. This is 44, Jared Stewart.
Okay.
Like I said, I think I confused him in 45 earlier.
Yep, our PA guys got it down. That was a good hard run. Tough yards. Didn't make it look too hard either. He carried a couple Cats with him for the last couple of yards.
6 yards on the carry, maybe 7. Optimist, pessimist, take your pick. Coach Hansen watching his defense alongside Ben Hansen, second year here in Wildcat country. Looking to get his first win as the Big Cat. Nelson into the pile. It's going to be short. Number of Wildcats in there. Mason West leading the charge. Look like number 2 might have been in there as well for the Wildcats. Grunkley.
3rd and short. The Cats loaded the box up big time on a previous 3rd down play. Let's see if they do it again. Lakeville South took it around the end.
Sets up 3rd and 1 now for the Cougars from the Wildcat 41-yard line.
And I would imagine Tyler Krebs would go for it if we get to a 4th down situation.
I would think so.
Of course, the Cougars don't want to get anywhere near that. And Jacobson will prevent that from happening. Jacobson, a little spin move, gets down inside the Wildcat 35, maybe give it the 34-yard line.
It's a nice run.
7. And another first down on this drive for the Cougars. That'll be their third of the drive. You see the time remaining here in the opening half on ETV. Your home for Wildcat sports. You know, they did the soccer games here last night. Both the boys and girls beat Shakopee. Boys won 5-1, girls won 3-0. First and 10 for the Cougars. Brecky's looking to air it out. That ball, a nice throw. Catch at the number of Cats in on that stop, but the ball was caught out there far side by number 11 for the Lakeville South Cougars. That is Ben Huddick. Number 3 out there is Tommy Schultz for the Wildcats.
That's tight coverage. He just fed it right in there, and you really couldn't cover him a whole lot better than that. So
it was Schultz that came over to help out. Might have been, not sure who that was on the initial coverage. Inside 9 to go. 2nd and 2 for the Cougars. Delayed handoff. And it bounces to the outside, across the 25, across the 20, down near the 15-yard line. That's Jacobson. He's finally knocked out of bounds at about the 16. We'll give him 10 on that one. See number 4, Colin Williams, in there to help push him out of bounds for the Wildcats.
Good hard run, picked up some good steam, little half stiff arm as he got shoved out of bounds there.
Nice job by our camera crew sticking with that one, huh?
Absolutely, yeah. You gotta be tough to stand in there like that when they're coming at you.
Can't quite see who's down there tonight, but we'll get all the names out eventually.
That's right.
James is on camera down there tonight, we're told. All volunteer crew tonight. Happy to bring you Wildcat football here on ETV. There's a mess in the front. Rugby scrum still falls forward to about the 15-yard line. It's big 44 that time. Stewart, the ball carrier for South.
It almost looked like they weren't sure if they were going to pull that ball back or not. It just kind of stalled out there. Not much of a gain.
I don't think they're going to give them anything. Maybe half a yard. They're going to give them 1 on the scoreboard. Inside the red zone for the second time tonight are the Lakeville South Cougars.
Big stand for the Cats here.
Jacobson scored on that first drive. He'll get the ball once again. Cuts it up. Cuts it in. And Jacobson to Pater. Touchdown Cougars. 15 yards on the run.
That was a well-run play on both sides of the ball. The Cats turned it in, but he just ran past the tacklers, the would-be tacklers. Nice play.
13-8 now our score. Wait, watch him. He goes left. I think he wanted to go all the way out, but then cut it up. Nice block there by Stewart to help spring him. And no chance out there for the Wildcats, Grunkley. That was number 8, I believe, McCollum, that had a good chance to get him near the backfield. Didn't. Kick is up. Plenty of leg, and the accuracy is good as well. 7:58 to go here in the opening half. It's now the Lakeville South Cougars 14, Eagan Wildcats 8. Molly Bush has 3. They won by shutout 3-0 here last night over Shakopee. They are 4-1 in the year, outscored their opponents 18-2.
Wow, finding the back of the net for
2 goals they gave up were in the loss. It was 2-1.
Oh, my.
And boys soccer is now 3-2. And then there's the volleyball team. 4-0, top ranked in the state. Although they lost the first 2 sets last night to Eastridge, came back, beat the Raptors in 5.
Wow.
Second straight match, they've went 5. I think it was Shakopee I saw 2 days ago.
To go down 2 sets and come back, that's impressive.
So once again, the Wildcat volleyball team, I saw ranked number 1. I saw, I think it was in the Star Tribune where they said, Eagan, once again, team to beat.
Yep.
State champ. I think is it 3 years in a row now
I think
for
it
volleyball?
is 3. Go Cats.
So, an absolute dynasty in the Wildcat gym here in the fall. Here we go from the 15 over the Wildcats. Sundberg is the likely ball carrier here. He'll get out near the 27-yard line.
It's been a good game so far, kind of back and forth. Not exactly a heavyweight championship bout, blow for blow, but the Cats can push the ball down the field here, threaten a score, put it in the end zone. We're right back in business.
Yeah, you see the time remaining here, 14-8. Cougars over the Wildcats. Those of you that are looking way ahead, by the way, Lakeville South gets the ball to start the second half. But that's way ahead.
That is way ahead. 7 minutes and 45 seconds. After our halftime show, you said the band's in the house tonight, Mike?
Band is here. I don't know if they're performing. I assume they are. I understand. I think we're honoring the state lacrosse champions at halftime.
That is
I saw
correct.
that on the website today.
Yep, Eagan Wildcats.
Yeah.
Little clock adjustment.
Trying to get the clock adjusted here. 7:51 as we're told for the time to go here.
We're good to go. Yeah, as you mentioned at the half, the Eagan Wildcat lacrosse team, 2017, Minnesota State champions.
If I remember right, they did a rally in the title game to win that.
They did.
A lot of these kids play lacrosse as well. Hanson setting it up nicely. Here we go, the Cats. I believe this is Lions.
Nice gainer.
Check that. It was number 12, the tight end, Cam LaChance.
You know, Mike, I was kind of waiting for a screen of some sort. They've gotten good push up the middle. You can't pull the trigger too early, but when it's time to run that screen, you normally pick up some yardage.
They picked up 11 there. That's going to move the sticks. Going to put a 1 on the down part of the scoreboard. And we play on. Here on a gorgeous night for football, as we mentioned. Game time temperature around 70.
No hurricanes in sight at this part.
Yep. Cats might have go with a false start there. Here comes near side. Busted it out. First down across midfield is number 9, Lyons. Boy, he's having himself a nice game this far. Carter Lyons, 5'9" junior. Gets up to the 47-yard line of South. That's a 13-yard pickup, 14-yard pickup.
Another first down. He kept the legs moving after that first contact and might have gotten tagged a little bit after he crossed the out-of-bounds line, but beautiful run. Cats on the move.
Yep. Two plays, 35 yards thus far in this drive. Hanson overthrows his intended target on the far side. It is going to be 2nd and 10 upcoming for the Wildcats. I have to look, but boy, what's Hanson got? 2, maybe 3 incompletions tonight? 1, 2, 3. Unofficial stats here, of course, of my own. Actually, he's got 5 incompletions tonight, but I got to admit, it doesn't seem like he's got that many.
No, he's putting the ball in the air, and that's the important thing. Balanced attack thus far by the Wildcats.
And they're having fun at the beach out. Beach party. 2nd and 10 from the 47. Yeah, 2 receivers right, 1 left. They're going to go far side. And again, Sundberg is going to get down to about the 42-yard line, pick up a 5, get him about half the necessary distance. Much more manageable, 3rd and 5.
We've been saying Sundberg's name all night tonight, really working his way into this offensive scheme.
I'm not sure, but is he a lacrosse player too?
He is actually, Mike.
I thought so. 3rd and 4, they're going to say. Actually, they're going to give him 6 on that one, not 5. Still 3rd and 4. Very manageable situation for the Wildcats. Hanson hands it off. McCanty cuts it up. And he should. Does he have enough for it? Let's see the spot.
It looks like the spot is going to move those sticks. Boy, someone came out of nowhere from behind and just kind of dropped him.
Antoine McClenty with the first down.
Very nice.
First down at the 36-yard line of Lakeville South.
Keeping the sticks moving.
Yep. 5 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. Hanson, he's going to throw it out. First time going deep and overthrows his man far side. Might have been McCollum way out there. Just thinking when we talked about his incompletions, it is McCollum indeed, but I was just thinking he hadn't gone long yet.
No, they looked longer once, but that is the longest pass. And again, too, I think he had every intention of going that direction from the get-go. Overthrew him, but A for effort on the play calling.
Yeah, number 8, Jackson McCollum. He's a 6'1" target out there at the wide receiver spot. He's a senior on this squad. So they get 2nd and 10. Hanson, he'll air it out once again. He's going to go far side, just over the head of his intended target. I believe that was the tight end LaChance he was going for.
There was a nice hurry on that play. I think he had to get rid of that ball just a wee bit earlier than he wanted to because he had a guy wide out there in the flat.
You know, we talked about earlier in this broadcast, the O-line last week really had some issues with the communication and that kind of thing. It seems to me Hanson's had a little more time tonight. So I think the O-line has gotten better.
They've certainly ironed out those communication issues if that was part of the problem.
So 3rd and 10 for the Cats. Lions, he'll run it on what you thought would be a passing down. Lions, is he going to get the first? It's going to be really close. Let's see where they knock him down. I believe that's going to be a first if they give him the 25, and it is. 11 yards for Lions, first down Cats.
Interesting play call, too. You think passing down, 3rd and long. They went right to the ground, maybe caught the Cougars off guard a little bit. Once he got moving downhill, picked up the speed, picked up the yards, picked up the first down.
4th first down of this drive, a drive that has taken all of 1 minute and 20 seconds thus far. But this will be the 9th play. Basically, when incompletions will do to the clock.
Mm-hmm.
And so that will throw it one more time. Far side. McElvey slips, but gets back on his feet, and he'll pick up about 7, maybe 8.
Well, they're going to spot him down with that knee. They're going to give him a little bit less than that, but boy, that had some promise.
It did, down to the 22, yep.
Moving the box, though.
You know, I like what I saw, though, McCollum. He had caught the ball to the inside, cut to the outside.
Just lost his footing.
He did. But he's showing some flashes of some pretty good wheels.
Yeah, I like that. Had he not lost his footing there, I don't know that he would have been tackled before he moved the sticks again.
5:52 and counting here. 2nd and 7 for the Cats. Hanson, Lions. And he barrels his way forward. Gets down inside the 15 to about the 14. Is it going to be enough to move the chains? I believe it is.
I believe it is too, Mike. Tough
and
running.
There they go. They're going to spot it on the 15, it appears, just inside the 15.
A real methodical drive by the Cats on this thing, moving the sticks, taking their time, getting it done.
And they're mixing it up.
They really are.
You know, we saw that Minnetonka game. It was a lot of air Eagan. And McGlinty, he'll try to get outside. He's actually going to lose 1 or 2 on that one.
I think you get a more of an opportunity to mix it up when you're not down several touchdowns. Right now they're saying, hey, let's run our game plan here.
Yep. And, you know, I like that they've run the no huddle. I don't think they've huddled once tonight.
No, I don't think they have either. That kind of keeps the clock on your side and keeps your defensive guys kind of wondering what's going on.
Lakeville looks like they're going to rush 3. Hanson on the keeper, and he's in trouble. He's dropped down by that helmetless one.
Wow.
Number 52 coming up with linebacker spot helmet. Is Jack Hobat.
Wow.
He's an offensive lineman.
I'm not sure that he had one on to start the play. I didn't see it come off. He may say, I don't need no helmet. We'll see here. It's kind of a broken play, and then who makes the play but a guy who's not wearing a helmet.
They're going to lose 5 on that one. So it's going to be 3rd and about 18, but apparently we have a hanky on the field as the officials.
I'd probably go with holding possibly since the rush was so insane. Someone was trying to slow things down, but...
Well, Rick Hardy's the man wearing the white hat tonight.
See what he has to say.
Well, they had 1 penalty thus far, and it was on South, and that was declined.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad when Tyler Krebs said a week ago South had a lot of problems with penalties.
He said that was part of the issue against Edina, yeah. And they've obviously worked some things out. They got 1 tonight, but that's not bad in a half of football.
And South, they went up to Edina last week. I think it was 31-9 for the final, if I'm not mistaken. Again, but he said they had 3 turnovers. Edina scored on every one of them. Yep. So for them, it's a simple thing of cleaning it up. Yep. And really, they've got Eagan has the 1 pick tonight. But South was showing some good movement on the offense there.
Turnovers equal opportunity, and it worked for Edina last week. Let's hope that it works out for the Cats tonight.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out what's going on.
Okay, now he's throwing a flag, and we'll see what he has to say.
So, illegal participation for Lakeville South. So that's going to move the ball to the 13-yard line.
Now, I'm no rules official, but would that indicate possibly that the player who lost his helmet should bow out of the play, maybe? I mean, I don't understand. We're not going to get an official. We're way up in the box here, in the nosebleeds, if you will, but
bottom line, it's going to be 2nd and 4 for the Cats from about the 8-yard line. Hanson all alone back there. Little jump pass across the middle. Can he get there? No, down to the 1.
He did get that first down, though. Optimism is high when it's 2nd and 4, and you can get a first down before you can score there, so that's nice. Fresh set of downs. Looks like it's from about the 2, maybe, Mike?
They are going to spot it. You are correct at the 2. I did not see who caught that one for the Wildcats. I'm going to guess LaChance across the middle, but I can't say that with any certainty. We've got a timeout taken by the Eagan Wildcats. This will be their second one of the opening half, which has 4:34 to go. And it is 14-8 in favor of Lakeville South.
You know, it's funny. We were just talking about the penalty situation last week for the Cougars and how it factored into their loss against Edina. Turnovers also being an issue. We got a little bit of both of those right now kind of working to our advantage as Wildcats. The big penalty, which, you know, kind of turned that last half of that drive around, and then that turnover earlier in the game.
Hey, just real quick, I want to mention Eagan High School lost a good football friend last May when John Matheson, he passed away running the Superior Spring 25K race up near Lutzen. 41 years old, has a wife, a young child, 2-year-old son named Dylan, 3-time finisher of the race. Teacher here at Eagan since 2007 in the science department.
Very popular
Science
guy.
Olympiad, ran the clock here for a lot of years here in Wildcat country, so big loss for the community was John Matheson. And the Cats, can they get it in? They do. Touchdown, 6 points, Eagan. And there it is, number 24 of the ball carrier, Antoine McClenty. I know John Matheson would be very happy to see that play, changing that scoreboard where it'll say 6 on the Eagan, adding 6 to that Eagan total. So McClenty from 2, and we're tied at 14. Unofficially 14 plays on that drive for the Wildcats. Now, what do they do with the PAT? Got your line lined up left. Get some guys lined up right. Maybe we'll go traditional this time. Maybe not. Willis to kick for the Wildcats. Okay, he's lined up as kicker. Kick is up. Kick is on. It's not going to get there. And we will be tied at 14 with 4:27 to go in the first half. I said Willis, like we said a week ago up at Tonka, 40 yards, boinked it off the right upright. Plenty of leg.
Plenty of leg on that one. I was there. I saw it. Plenty of leg. I wouldn't have been surprised if they had gone for 2 there. It really... The extra point typically is the almost guaranteed, let's take the lead here. But because they were tied, I don't know that I would have been bothered by them going for 2.
Yeah. You saw Coach Hansen come over, put his arm around Grunkley, the holder there. It's like, hey, don't worry about it. We'll get him back.
Right on.
Yeah, and that's one thing I really like about Ben Hansen. He's really seemed like he's relating to these kids. Really's got them fired up. I know offensive coordinator Chris Black was taking part in some things up at the U of M with PJ Fleck and his staff. If that guy doesn't get you fired up with the word in the maroon and gold.
Well, I tell you too, when you're new to a program, you're bringing your philosophy in, you're bringing your schemes in, getting to know these kids, building that relationship, very, very important.
You know, and the thing is, they said they've learned so much up there. They said some of the Gopher coaches, they've sat down for like a couple hours at a crack, just talking running schemes, things like that.
Yeah, it's going to be
Chris
an
Black has done a lot of it
for the Gophers as well. So if some of that energy bleeds off into our high school programs, we're going to all be in good shape.
It was interesting. Before we came on the air, the Cats came running off from underneath the goalpost. They had the one flag that said Cats on it. They also had a big oar signed by none other than PJ Fleck. It said, row the boat. And Lakeville South is going to have a great opportunity. Starting position up at about the 35-yard line. Nelson takes the short kick. And with 4:21 to go here in the half, it's going to be Lakeville South from their own 35-yard line. They do have all 3 timeouts still. You know, the other thing with Coach Hansen, too, he does some photography at the Vikings games, so he's in tight with them as well. And he was telling me the other day that he took some 7th graders up there for a clinic at Winter Park. Got to work out with like some of the retired guys. And
sure.
He says at one point he looks over and the Vikings guys say, hey, can you run the tackle drill for us? So there's Coach Hansen running the tackle drill up at this Viking clinic.
Nice.
And apparently it's going to be on some Vikings TV show that I don't know, it's a Viking update or what it's called, but so they're going to, if they show little kids running drills, it could be some Eagan kids with Coach Hansen.
Well, and you know, our new neighbors, the Vikings, just right there in Eagan, so it's makes perfect sense that we get involved with them and vice versa.
Yeah, Vikings, boy, drove by there the other day, and that thing is just sprouting.
It's going up fast.
Not quite going to be ready for the Super Bowl for one of the AFC or NFC teams, but I would say shortly thereafter, the Vikes are going to be able to move in over there off just off 494. Jacobson taken down. That's going to be a loss of 7.
Great penetration. Those are the kind of plays that will get us out of tight spots. Enthusiasm, he jumped the block, got in the backfield, held on.
Let's see who that was for the Wildcats coming up. Could be Jack Stump, 41. Could it have been Mason West, number 1? I don't have the replay, unfortunately, but somebody just squirted through or got through that line quick.
Well, the thing of it is, too, you being able to finish that tackle. Both teams make a lot of plays where they're right there, but you got to make that shoestring. You got to hold on to that guy's waist. You got to finish.
We're going to say a loss of 5 officially. Brecky to throw. Good pressure by the Cats. West and company, they're all in there. It's not West with a sack, but he was rushing in from the outside. First man up, I believe it's going to be number 3, which would be Tommy Schultz.
Back-to-back big plays. Could go either way. Either team puts a couple plays together. Now the punting unit out. Wildcats get the ball with about 2 minutes left to go in this half.
And the Cats just took their final timeout as well. Boy, the Cats sent, 7 or 8 guys on that one, called the blitz at the right time. Mark Henderson checked that, the defensive coordinator for the Wildcats. Chris Black, the offensive coordinator for Coach Ben Hansen's squad. Of course, Tyler Krebs, he's got his side. I know one of his key additions for South this year, he brought his strength coach with him from Burnsville. And over the years, we saw the Burnsville players get bigger, stronger. He said that was one of the things they really didn't have when he took over there. And, you saw the last couple of years how good Burnsville was. Something like, 16-5, I think, the last 2 years under Krebs' watch?
He certainly made a point when we were talking to him before the game about bringing that strength coach across town with him. We all know how important it is in these programs. Get strong.
Oh, big snap. Kick is barely got out. Somehow that got out, I don't know. Is that
was very exciting.
Is that the first punt, I believe, for South?
I think it was. Fair catch by none other than Tate Sundberg. Yeah, high snap and very nearly a block.
I don't know. Sundberg had an off number 11. If we miss a call on it, we'll just assume Sundberg did it.
That's not a bad assumption. 2:41 to go here. Cats take over.
No timeouts, but they're on their own 39-yard line.
Good field position.
Well, that last drive where they went 72 yards in 14 plays took about 3.5 minutes. Yeah, good crowd here in Wildcat Country. As we said, it's a gorgeous Friday night for football. Got the Friday Night Lights festivities going on. Beach Out now has an inflatable shark being bounced around.
Shark.
Sharknado. One of those things. Hansen, he thought about keeping it. He does. And this is the football, however. And it's going to be quickly covered up by the Wildcats. Hustling back was Tower for Eagan to cover the loose ball.
That was a big hit. I don't even know that he wasn't protecting the ball. He just got drilled as he was kind of starting to go to the ground, and out came the football. About a 5-yard loss.
Yeah, well. So Tower with the save. And it's going to be 2nd and long for the Cats. We'll call it 14. Need to get to their own 49 to move the sticks. Give the Lions. And it's going to be 3rd and about 13 for the Wildcats.
Got a flag down.
And I'm thinking, does Tyler Krebs think about a timeout here? 2:01 to go. Well, you're right, the flag, and it's in that area where you think it's going to be on the Cats. I don't know if somebody lined up. Although if you're a wide receiver, you're always looking out at the officials like, am I okay?
My first inclination was that it might have been an infraction by the wideout, but you're exactly right. They normally look down. I think the number 22 is kind of pleading his case to the sideline saying, hey, we got a
chop block.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a biggie, too.
That is.
So you got to take, if you're Tyler Krebs and the Cougars, you got to march them back on that one, I would think. I mean, granted, they're going to get the replay of the down, but how far back will they go?
Well, they're definitely going to get the ball back, minus a couple of big plays here by the Wildcats.
Ben Hansen looking for an explanation, I think, on the near side. No, now they're going to say, no, nothing, I guess. Declined, I guess. Okay. So it's now 3rd and 3rd and 13, as we said.
I suppose they would have
back.
replayed the down, so they said we'll push them to 3rd and long.
I suppose if you're Krebs, though, you're also thinking clockwise.
Sure.
You're thinking maybe Eagan will run the ball. You'll have to use one of your 3 timeouts.
Yep.
Well, okay, now they're going to put the ball on the 35. Okay.
We got this figured out just about. Here we go.
Okay, Drew Aldred has the okay to snap it now. Hansen, you would think, would throw here. Looks to the sidelines. He's got lines in the backfield. Towers lined up left. Got 2 guys to the right. So this tight end, the chance to move from left to right. Trips out on the right now with him over that way. Give it to Lions. And that's going to go nowhere. Key there, hang on to the football. Wrapped up by, what do you call a herd of Cougars?
I would say it could be a herd or a pack, possibly.
Yeah.
The clock's ticking.
So -1 officially on that carry.
And Cougars are going to take a timeout.
There's the timeout that we expected them to take with 1:47 to go.
Well, 3rd and long. The Cats throw the ball. If it is incomplete, we're bringing out the punting unit, and they save a timeout for Lakeville. So probably best to keep it on the ground. Might get lucky, score through, kind of bite into that yardage.
We mentioned earlier there was a bit of a crosswind. I look down at the flag right now, and it is just hanging limp.
It is hanging.
North into Wildcat country.
A little bit of movement, but a little bit of breeze, but certainly not enough to move that flag.
Right.
It is cooling off, though. It's a cool beach night now.
Yeah. Speaking of, there it is. I think that shot might have come from Jeff LaPointe, returning to his end zone cam this year.
All right. Thanks,
the one,
Jeff.
the only, the man, Jeff LaPointe. Okay, got our plug in for Jeff. Okay, he'll feel better now. Should mention Josh Sibley running this dog and pony show here tonight. Paul Winkle's helping him out. Jeff Anderson back with us. James is down there running camera.
We're somewhere in there.
Yeah, well, Kevin Sorensen kind of rounded up this whole motley crew. But hey, we're all glad to be here helping you out. Glad to bring you Wildcat football on ETV. And from the 34-yard line, good opportunity for, that's Torberg for the Cougars. He'll get out to about his own 49-yard line.
Not a bad return.
So 133 for Brecky and the Cougars at their own 49-yard line.
Nice open field tackle opportunity, but those are not easy tackles to make. But not a damaging return. Minute 30, timeout or 2 left for the Cougars.
And with the minute and a half to go, you've still got room to send Jacobson on a couple of maybe sweeps around the end potentially. Maybe run him up the gut even. A lot of different options right here for the Cougars. Cats need to be ready for everything. Brecky's coming out of the shotgun. High snap. He catches it, and he maybe falls forward to only lose about a couple. Good break there for the Wildcats.
Yeah, that is not the kind of miscue you want. Just on your side of the midfield line, that could have been terrible. We would put him in a big hole.
There's Jack Stumpf in there quickly for the Wildcats. 109 and counting. South 2 timeouts really don't appear to be in a hurry. Brecky going out far side, got his man just over the top. I believe that was his. Was that his tight end? Nope, it looks like number 10, Brandon. Yeah, 15, the return receiver, Dylan Doty.
Overthrown, but certainly kind of looked like it might be a pick opportunity, but overthrew the coverage as well, it looks like.
So 57.2. Now if you're Tyler Krebs, knowing Eagan has no timeouts, you just run the ball here. And if you get 10 or you get close to it, call your timeout.
They're in the driver's seat right now. Again, Eagan gets the ball back. They don't have any timeouts to play with.
And South gets the ball to start the second half. Brecky going across the middle, going deep, way overthrows his man, and it's going to be 4th down.
Well,
we got a flag on the play, though, however, in the backfield. It will be
possibly.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer on the Wildcats. Somebody check Coach Ben Hansen's blood pressure right now.
I got a feeling that that's, well, obviously the opportunity. It's very inopportune time, but got to knuckle up. It's 15 yards, automatic first down.
But that's one of those plays that incomplete pass. You're probably going to have to kick it away. You might have a chance for a return. You could get a long pass. You never know. Instead, the ball's now down to the 37-yard line.
That's a spirited contest. Heavy pass rush. He stepped up in the pocket. He was standing there waiting to get hit, and he just should have backed off at the last second.
Seeing Quentin, number 7, he was watching. Brecky, near side, and pass broken up. Nicely. Is that going to be number one that time breaking it up? Mason West.
Wow. Great coverage. Does stop the clock, though, 46 seconds.
Got West listed as a linebacker on this squad, and it looks like he's playing backer. Near side on defense is Isaac Hofstad, number 10. And Melville, I assume, is back into the game. I haven't checked. Second and 10, 46.3 to go in the half. We're still a tie ball game. Brecky, heavy rush. Good job by the Wildcat D.
That pack of Wildcats.
This is the big man coming through there for the Wildcats. That was 24, McClenty. McClenty, I should say. Why do I keep calling him McGinty? It's McClenty. He also had the touchdown a while back here for the Wildcats. Our first game of the year for us as well. We're still getting used to everybody.
Right on.
So we've got 37.8 to go. Timeout taken by the Cougars.
Knotted up at 14.
Second charge, timeout. So with 37.8 to go. You know, if you're the Wildcats, whether or not you're tied or down just a little bit going into halftime, you've got to be pleased with this opening half.
Absolutely. No, it's a program that's building momentum. This is a great first half of football. No major blunders, nothing terribly flashy, just consistent ball-moving football.
Actually, your biggest blunder might have been 2 plays ago on that roughing the passer call.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. You want that kind of enthusiasm on that pass rush, but boy, every now and again you got to know when to pull back. I don't know about you, Mike. I didn't see it. I didn't see how egregious it was, but enough for the ref, and that's all that matters.
Exactly. 3rd and 14 for the Cougars. Got to get down to the 27 on this play. Brecky is going to throw near side. Jacobson, that's an incomplete pass. That was incomplete. Yep. Cat's acting like it might have been a lateral.
Even the receiver kind of went for it just in case.
Exactly. Got to make sure on that one.
Yeah, why not?
You know, I just saw the South guys walking out. You see the new Eagan uniforms there, the blue on gray. Well, South has a new look this year, too.
They do.
For a lot of years, they've had that San Francisco 49er look. And quite honestly, they were kind of like, we're not quite sure where that ever came from. It wasn't their official school colors. It's Vegas gold, Tyler Krebs told us, and it was like
Cardinal red.
Cardinal red maybe was the official word. As they punted away, this should be fair. Caught back at the 13-yard line. The South this year, just the white, it just says South across the front, pretty basic. The helmets now have a Cougar kind of head on them.
Yeah.
Something just a little bit different instead of the LS that looked like an SF for the Niners.
Yeah, it doesn't do the 49er thing. It almost does like a Florida State thing.
There you go.
And it's a good look. And aside from having a little trouble from the box reading the numbers on the Cats, very sharp outfits as well for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and we touched on it earlier, but like Coach Hansen said, it's 2017 is a new era for Eagan football. 2016, yes, they struggled. It was ugly. Pick your own adjectives there.
Right.
But you got to remember, Ben Hansen came in like in mid-June. He got hired, which is no time to bring on a staff.
Very late.
Get your system implemented. Meet the players. And then when Gus Klunder went down, in week 2 last year, that took away your running quarterback. Hunter Weiss, nice kid, but let's face it, he not a lot of mobility back there when he really needed it.
Sure.
And it was just an ugly year. So like Hansen said, we changed the uniforms, we've changed the look. They've kept the family motto though.
Yep.
And that's the forget about me, I love you thing, and that's on the back of the helmets this year.
Yeah.
Or on the white padding on the back of the helmet, and on the front it says Cats.
No, good luck. Good time to make a change. Good time to infuse some new energy.
And I'm assuming South just took their final timeout with 16 and a half to go. So, yeah, it's one of those. It's just, like he said, there's a new optimism around school. I mean, granted, we're all, 4 days in. But, he said last year people were riding football players like, oh, you're a football player. You guys, stink. Or some variation thereof.
Yeah, it's
and
nice
just, people didn't feel good. They're hanging their heads.
Well, you got to remember, we're dealing with teenagers, and these games are big, and no one likes to lose. We're having some great success tonight. 16 clicks left on the clock. We're probably going into halftime tied. I think it's both staffs should probably be pretty pleased with their performance.
I would think
so far.
so. Yeah, Coach Krebs, I would think he'd be very pleased with what he's got out of his Cougars tonight, thus far. The Cats going to just throw one up here and see what happens. 2nd and 11. They're going to throw near side. Out across the 15, 20, out near the 22-yard line. Will it be enough to get the first down and stop the clock when the chains are moved? Does not appear so. The Tower was the recipient, and we hit triple zeros on the clock. And it's 14-all, Lakeville South and Eagan.
They head to the locker rooms.
Cats going to head to the locker room. Lakeville South, they're going to head to the locker room as well. As we said, the quick recap of the opening half. Jacobson from 9 yards out. It was 7-0 South. Cats came back, made a nice drive. Couldn't score, however. Lakeville got it back. Melville with a pick. And then we had the tip drill in the end zone with McCollum with a 2-yard pass. Reception for the Wildcats. 8-7 home team. North responds. Jacobson from 16 out into the corner of the end zone. 14-8. And then McClanty completes a 14-play drive with a 2-yard score. That puts us where we're at right now. It's the Lakeville South Cougars 14, the Eagan Wildcats 14. We're going to take a break here on ETV. We'll be back with second half action in just a little bit.
All right, Mike, here we go, huh? You hear him?
Hey, we welcome you back inside Wildcat Country. We're at the half. It's the Lakeville South Cougars 14 and the hometown Eagan Wildcats 14 as well. Mike Cook along with Ken Merwin, Evan Cook here doing stats for us tonight in Wildcat Country. Ken, we had a pretty entertaining first half, I think, for both teams, as you mentioned before we went to halftime.
Well, it was entertaining, I think, like you said, regardless of what side of the field you're on. The best thing about it from a broadcaster point of view, a coach's point of view, fans' point of view, the game was very evenly played. Not a lot of blunders, not a lot of flashiness, moving the ball, putting it in the end zone. Here we go, second half.
I'll tell you, for those of you that are kind of looking at, we got some other scores here at the break. Apple Valley up 7-0 over St. Thomas Academy early in the third. Rosemount was down 14-0 to Edina late in the first half, and Rosemount is here next week. And the big one up there, Lakeville North, just got on the board. They're now down 21-6 to Eden Prairie. And Farmington was up 14-12 over Shakopee. And for those of you that are by the way, the Twins are up 5-1 in the fourth as they keep their wild card dreams alive this year. So there's our score update for those of you that are watching us here on the World Wide Web. And we are definitely glad you're with us here tonight in Wildcat Country. As we said, it's 14-all as we get set for second half action.
I think the Cougars will have the ball to start the second half.
They do.
Nice defensive stand by the Cats would be in order.
Should mention, we said the Cats have Rosemount here next week. Lakeville South, I believe, we looked up, they return home. They play Burnsville next week, and their home opener down at Lakeville South. A little emotion in that game for Tyler Krebs, maybe, who,
right on.
As we said, the Lakeville South coach, the last 6 years at Burnsville is the head man. Went down here to Lakeville South. He was a Lakeville grad. Has a chance to replace the legend Larry Thompson. Larry, who's been around, I believe, basically, forever. and just happened to poke his head in the press box. We knew Larry would never be able to stay away from this game. But, Krebs is going on there. He's got a teaching job now at Lakeville South. As he said, things are going really well. The team is starting to buy into his program. And again, he said, too, there's some excitement for this program as well on the south side of Lakeville.
Yeah, very exciting. And like I say, that same energy is starting and slowly to build here in Eagan, too. And a first half like this will do that for your student body. It'll do that for your community.
And we said, it's a gorgeous night for football. Darkness has descended as you look at the screen. Green grass here early September. It's a beach out by the pit. Starting to cool off just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
It's still probably, 65 degrees out here right now in Wildcat country.
Getting right into the low 60s, but feeling good tonight. Perfectly clear sky. I hadn't seen a cloud all night. Now you can't because it's dark, but nice night for football.
Tell you one thing, I'm glad we're not in South Florida right now. We were just checking the Twitter feed, and the National Weather Service said if you're in Key West, get out. And they basically said this is not a joke. Get out.
No diehards.
It says here, South Carolina's governor's ordered a mandatory evacuation of Hilton Head. 7 other barrier islands by 10 tomorrow morning.
Yep.
So scary stuff going on down there in Florida right now. This is just a football game, but that's life and death.
That's some serious stuff.
Obviously, our best wishes for those down in the state of Florida. We're right here, 14 all as we get set for the second quarter. On the beach out. And once again, the Eagan band, they were here till halftime.
Great student turnout for Lakeville South, too. If you look over to our left across the field, huge pit student contingent from the Lakeville community.
Yeah, I was going to mention that earlier. I dare say, as you look at the student section there on the left for South, I dare say they've got more students here than Eagan does tonight.
They've got quite a few here. There's no doubt about it, and they're making some noise, and they've had some things to make some noise about. Let's see if the Cats can do something about that in the second half.
I will say it was nice pulling into the parking lot tonight. You saw the Eagan pit there out there tailgate, and they got the flags going. I think I saw some grills going. Just out there enjoying
having some fun.
Fall football. This is what it's all about on Friday night. By the way, it's now 28-6 Eden Prairie over North. Short squib kick as Lakeville South will start at their own 20-yard line, 25-30. Look out. And out across the 43-yard line. Great return for the Lakeville South Cougars. Trying to get the number.
I didn't catch either, Mike, but boy, someone got just another shoestring. And big plays contribute to some of these big gaps in these scores. So good thing that guy got tapped on his shoe and came down. Not a good way to start the first half if he lets loose.
Yeah, Brady Torberg, number 17, he does most of the damage for the Cougars.
Here they come.
He's their punt returner, punts, wide receiver. So we get set to your first play of half number 2. Brecky, the quarterback, hands off to Jacobson, the workhorse in the backfield for the Cougars. Gets out to about the 49-yard line. West finishes him off after the initial hit was made by McCollum for the Wildcats.
They make contact near the line of scrimmage, but you get running downhill, 3 yards turns into 7 real quick.
Get near midfield. Lakeville South back in that first quarter. Their first drive ended up with a lead as Jacobson scored from 9 yards out when they were going in this direction as well. And here comes the aforementioned Jacobson. 45-44. Dropped down out there by the Wildcats. It was Inquanta with the stop on Jacobson. 7-on-3. But bottom line is sticks are going to move. Fresh set of downs for the Cougars.
They turned him inside, but he had a full head of steam going. And once he gets out of that box, again, 3-4 yard gain can turn into 6 or 7 in a hurry.
From the 43-yard line here, first series of the second half, which we are all of a minute into. Clock did stop while the chains move. Brecky, the signal caller, gives it Stewart, the up back. And he'll barrel his way down to about the 40-yard line. Met by a number of Wildcats, including number 3 leading the charge for the Wildcats. That is Tommy Schultz from his linebacker position. Can't say they had the ball at the end, but official said he was already down.
He was down.
3 yards on that carry for Stewart. So it's going to be 3rd and 7 for the visiting Cougars. Here comes Jacobson, runs into the middle. Maybe a falls forward for a couple. There's a number of Wildcats in there.
They've gone to the well a couple times between the tackles, and there hasn't been much there, which is typically surprising. The Wildcats are not big up front, but they're holding their own. They're getting into the gaps. They're keeping the blockers off of them.
Yeah, McCollum, among others, in on the stop for the Wildcats. Mark Henderson, the Wildcat Mark Henderson. Why do I keep on to call him Henderson? It's Henderson, defensive coordinator for the Cats. Squad faces a 3rd and 6 from their own 39. Jacobson going left. He's met. Oh, second and third effort. He'll get the first down. Move the sticks for the Cougars.
That's too bad, Mike. They stacked him up pretty quickly short of the first down, but that second and third effort got those sticks down there. Looks like they're contemplating a measurement.
I thought it was Grunkley that came up and made the initial hit, and there go the sticks.
There go the sticks.
There's Williams, Colin Williams, D-back for the Wildcats.
Yeah, great play right away. Just could not wrangle him up enough to stop him.
So they're going to put the ball at the 33-yard line after that. They're going to say 6-yard carry.
Kind of a sustained drive here, 3 minutes or so.
It's pretty much been all runs thus far. It has been all runs. As I say that, Brecky looks to throw, avoids the rush. He's going to go deep. He's got a man down in the corner. Can he scoop it at the 10? He did.
Nope,
they're going to say it hit the ground.
On the ground. He was wide open, though, Mike. He somehow snuck down there. A lot of pressure up front. Quarterback was rolling right anyhow. Had him wide open. I don't know if they're conferring about this, if one ref saw something else.
Well, it's Ben Huddock on the reception, or attempted reception. Boy, hard to tell right there. But
yeah, it is tough to tell.
He got in behind Hofstad.
And they're going to say no catch. I guess the initial call was incomplete, so even in their recollection, they're going to have to come up with something convincing enough to overturn that.
And it's high school ball. You don't have replay.
No, and we couldn't tell from our replay angle either. Nice try, though, guys.
Although I did see they're going to – did I see they're going to use some replay at the Prep Bowl this year potentially?
That would be nice.
Or once they get down to the bank, the semis and the Prep Bowl?
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've got the technology. So 2nd and 10, Cougars.
Pitt coming to life.
Brecky throw. Finds his man far side. Spin move. And can he get to the sticks? I believe he can. That was number 21 on the reception for the Cougars, Ty Willman. The 5'11 senior, Willman.
Yards after catch probably got them sticks to move again.
They haven't moved them yet.
They have not moved them yet, have they?
Are we going to have our first measurement of tonight's ball game?
Well, that's inches. It was well covered. Yep. The receiver turned one way. The defender turned the other. And there you go. Contained.
So 3rd and short. Yeah, pretty safe move there. You just give it to your running back, big number 3.
The Cats had a nice goal line stand last week against Minnetonka. Let's see if they can kind of reconjure that up for tonight as the Cougars are moving deep into the Wildcat territory right now.
Back into the red zone.
There they are.
That was Jacobson, as we officially said on that last carry. Eagan fans looking for something to cheer about here on the home side. 3 minutes gone by here in the third quarter. Tie ball game, but the Cougars almost knocking on the door. Brecky under center. Fake, he's going to keep it, and he is going to be bumped. Comes down about the 16-yard line. Good job of hanging onto the ball. He got popped pretty good.
He did. He got bounced around a few times in there. He maybe got a yard out of the deal.
Oh, and we got a limping cat. That's not good. Hopefully just a cramp. I think that's McCollum. It is. Jackson McCollum.
Oh, he's not going to. He's going to shut her down.
Kind of back in that hammy area. You hope it's just a cramp.
Trainer's on the field.
Trainer this year for the Wildcats is Diana Bachland.
Does look like a cramp, Mike.
Coach Hansen's going to get out and take a look. Watch him get pinballed around in here. It was right before then, as I think is when he just about lost it. And Quantum, there's McCollum on the bottom of the pile. Yep. As we said, the grass is green. It's growing
nice
well
shot
here in
of the grass there by our cameraman.
The leg up. Let's see. And the Pit, they're gonna sit down in their beach chairs apparently. Hey, we mentioned the Wildcats, we said Rosemount is here next week. Then the Cats, a 3-game road trip, which is kind of odd in high school football.
Yeah.
Heading to Shakopee, Farmington, and Prior Lake.
Then we'll come home for homecoming, I believe.
On October, I believe it's the 13th, Wayzata. Figure that one out for a homecoming opponent. Played Minnetonka, played Wayzata. You don't play Eastview, you don't play Burnsville.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
No, it started off looking like a cramp, but maybe they couldn't rule anything else out here. We'll see.
Let's hope he gets some electrolytes in that young man and he gets back. And then we finish off the year. Brian Voss and Lakeville North, they come here.
We'll need that home field advantage.
A team that's getting somewhat spanked tonight up at Eden Prairie. Last we saw, I think it was 28-6. Haven't checked our Twitter feed here lately, but what do we do before Twitter?
Speculated.
Exactly. Read the morning paper. Jacobson down close to the 10, maybe the 11 on the stop. It looks like he might cramp up a little bit there, kind of reaching for the toe. We said it was about 70 degrees at kickoff. Probably cooled off mid-60s right now, maybe low 60s.
Yeah, certainly not warm enough to think that people are over there getting dehydrated, but you do sweat out there regardless of the temperature. So looks like number 3 is on the ground too with a little bit of a cramping issue.
Jacobson, yeah.
Well, they're probably not super deep in the backfield.
Carter Ganji finished him off. G-A-N-J-E. First time we've called Carter. Hope it's Ganji. Apologize if we're getting some of these names wrong early on. We're still learning as we go. Oh, hey, Burnsville, by the way, leading Eastview 12-7 right now, early in the third. For those of you that are scoring at home.
They're going to help that Cougar off the field, too. Another cramp, maybe misdiagnosed, because he was actually looked like he was in quite a bit of pain.
Well, if that's anything more than a cramp, that is a huge blow to Lakeville South Cougars.
They're not deep in the backfield, are they, Mike?
They lost their other top running back, Logan Gummonson, last week against Edina in something with an MCL.
Return uncertain, unclear.
Yeah. Coach Krebs telling us before the game they're optimistic, 4 or 5 weeks maybe. But again, I think both these teams, especially more so even Eagan than Lakeville South, but you just don't have the numbers to put up with a loss like this in terms of bodies. I mean, Ben Hansen's getting more kids to come out for the team right now, but a couple weeks ago at the kickoff, there was 42 kids on this roster. And that's going to be a touchdown for the Cougars on the reception by number 11. That was Huddock.
A good reception right in front of the defender. Actually not a bad attempt at the tackle, kind of bounced off him. Touchdown Lakeville South.
So 12-yard pass for Huddock, and it's now 20-14 Cougars. He's the one on that far side that scooped it, or maybe scooped it.
He's found his way to getting open a couple times. You got to finish when you get there. He had a nice shot at the tackle.
That was just a bad tackle. Oh, slow to get up. Looks like that's Hofstad that had the opportunity and unable to convert. Kick is good, by the way. It is now 21-14 Lakeville South with 8:11 to go in the third quarter.
Cats will get the ball for the first time here in the second half, I believe, and go down and answer. We got ourselves a ball game still.
Unofficially 12 plays on that drive for Lakeville South. 57 yards. As we said, 8:11 to go. Well, I'll tell you, you think about last year, how many times did the Cats not even score 14 points in a game?
We're making gains leaps and bounds. We're on the doorstep of starting to crack into the win column, but first downs, touchdowns, close ball games, it's all building momentum for this program.
Absolutely. But it would be so nice for these guys to get a W.
It would be huge. I'm not even sure if we'd make it out of the press box, Mike. I mean, it might be with the pit down there in their beachwear, it might be a little tough to get out of here.
Thinking way ahead, shall the Cats win? Should the Cats win? Does Coach Hansen get a Gatorade bath?
If the team doesn't do it, Mike, you and I go down and do it for him.
Feel free. We'll send our stat guy Evan down.
There you go.
Cats. Oh, they're going to be wrestled down inside the 20-yard line. Good job hustling downfield by Lakeville South. That was the fullback Stewart on special teams.
Yeah, good coverage.
Dropping Sundberg early. So the Cats are going to start inside their own 20. Looks like they're going to spot it at it's going to be the 19. It will be the 19-yard line.
Well, they've had a balanced attack so far. Let's see how they come out in the second half here and mixing it up. Runs, throws.
8:04 to go here. Cats down by 7 in the third quarter. Like you said, first offensive series of the second half for the Wildcats. Caden Hansen, your quarterback. He's got Carter Lyons behind him in the backfield. Lyons, he's a 5'9 junior. Our quarterback Hansen, he's a 6'2 senior. Drew Allred is the center. Hansen, Lyons crosses the 20 out to about maybe the 22-yard line, just follows the blockers.
A couple.
Nice little start, sets up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I think the Cats have realized, and you're not going to get 10 yards a pop here. They're chipping away, moving the football, and they did a great job of that, consistently moving the ball in the first half.
2nd and 7, they say, officially. Again, Lyons alone in the backfield with Hansen. High snap. Give it to Lyons. He's going to come near side, and he's not going to get far. Meeting him there was Zach Stalzer, big number 45 for the Cougars.
That play might have been a little doomed from the get-go. The timing was off. High snap, quarterback hauled it in, but it definitely did not get the play off and running.
That's going to be a -7. Who said Stalzer? Stelzer checked that. He was the leading tackler last year for South, along with Pete Eklund. Eklund is number 48, and I don't think we've called his name yet tonight.
No, I don't think so.
Actually, I stand corrected. That was 49. Steven Shabazz. He's 49, not 47.
That was just a good football play on the defensive side.
Yeah, but no matter who it was.
Right.
So 3rd and long for the Cats. Another high snap. Hansen's going to be good pressure by South. Hansen scrambles. Hansen's going to be fortunate to hang on to the football, and he does. He's dropped about 6 Lakeville South Cougars all around him. There's number 42. He was the man that brought him down. Haglund, Tyler Haglund, 6'1", 230, a senior. And the Cats are going to be forced to kick this one away from deep in their own end. Well,
we haven't seen a lot of snapping issues up to this point, so I'm not sure exactly what has gotten into our center. But we'll get it taken care of here after the change of possession and try to get down and get a score.
Yeah, kick is put it away, a little liner, favorable bounce, and it's not quite going to make midfield. It'll be down at the 48-yard line, where Lakeville South will take over on the Wildcat side of midfield. Standing out there all alone after touching the ball, Tommy Schultz, linebacker, 5'10", 185 senior. We're just reaching the halfway point of the third quarter, but this drive has a feeling of a big one for the Eagan defense.
This is, we might be looking back at this particular possession by the Cougars and say that it had a lot to do with the outcome of this football game, as this play doesn't quite get off and running.
I haven't seen a whole lot of flags here tonight. Not bad for week 2.
I don't even know if I see one now. They whistled it. He must have thrown it real close to the yellow pants of the Cougars, but maybe the ball was misspotted from the looks of it.
Got to get it over on the proper hash, maybe?
I think he gave him 1st and 11, I think is what they had it set up. Cougars will re-huddle.
Rick Hardy, our our referee tonight. Should look at the score there, bottom of your screen here on ETV Sports.
This game works out for the Wildcats. It might come down to the defensive, how they handle this possession right here.
We mentioned ETV Sports. Special shout out to those of you watching us on the web. Fumble! And Lakeville South going to hang on to the football.
And only lose a couple, if even. So
quickly jumped on by big number 60 for the Cougars. He's one of their big offensive linemen. That's Matt Borowitz. Also plays nose tackle. 6'4", 255.
Might have been the first time the quarterback was under center tonight. It was definitely an exchange issue, and when it hit the ground, it kind of bounced laterally down the line, so it could have been anybody's ball. You know, linemen aren't prone to being able to turn around and pick those things up, so nice job.
Yet they only lost a yard. Here comes 22 Nelson. He gets hit hard, but he's still going to fall forward, pick up about 4 yards after the initial hit. Give him about 7 on that carry in the end result.
Yeah, that's all running back effort there because, like I say, the end collapsed down, turned him inside. He was probably at the original line of scrimmage when he was hit first, Still fell forward for 5 yards.
There's Nkwanta coming off for the Wildcats. Should I mention, it looks like Nelson, he's kind of their third running back. It looks like he might be in the game because Jacobson is not right now.
That's right.
Looks like it's Stewart, the fullback, and then Nelson, the deep back.
Well, they're showing they've got that depth.
As you look, there's a good look right there.
Early in the season, too.
Brecky to throw. He's going to try and come near side. Got his man. He got the touchdown a little bit ago. This time it's just a first down down to the 31-yard line. 14 yards on the reception to Huddock. Starting to wonder if this Cats D is getting worn down just a little bit.
Well, we talked earlier about numbers and how you get to this stage of the game and you don't have bodies to spell your starters just to get them some wind. You start to see some teams that can chip away at you pretty readily. So we'll see if the Cats defense can step up.
We're going to say 13 yards on that pass play. Rekieluk is going to go there one more time. Far side. Got his man deep, and it is caught at the 1. Number 17, that's going to be Torborg. Brady Torborg to the 1.
Boy, not bad coverage at all. The receiver turned, the defensive back turned. The receiver kept his eye on the ball. Pretty easy catch, actually. The defender just was unable to get his hand up as he was turning. See it here on the replay. Oh, he had a little separation.
That was Hofstad that slipped down for the Wildcats, number 10.
I think he did.
We're going to spot it at the 2 officially. Brecky, Nelson. He's not going to make it that time.
He might have lost one.
That was the West coming in off the end for the Wildcats.
Well, we've had some goal line stands this short season, and we need one now. Big reception downfield for the Cougars, though.
If you look at Nelson there, number 22. He's a junior, 5'11", listed at 185. He doesn't look that big out there, but...
No. Clock continues to run.
Brecky under center. Will he just keep it himself this time? Nope. Let's give it to Nelson, looking for the corner. Cuts up, runs into his up back, falls forward, touchdown Cougars.
Again, that second effort, they strung it out nicely. I mean, it's a 2-yard gain, but they only needed 2 yards for the touchdown, so.
27-14, South takes the lead. PAT pending. This will be number 35, Paradise, for the PAT attempt.
Here's your replay. Oh, this is not the replay. This is our live stream. Oh.
Kick is good.
Wow, really big rush by the Wildcats there. Not really sure what that was all about. Here's the replay of that touchdown.
This will be Lakeville South, their second touchdown of this quarter. Nice little spin move after running to his own man. Just like that, it's now 28-14 for the Cougars. And other good news for you, Cougars, by the way, your rivals from North are now down 34-6 late in the third quarter.
All right, gut check time here now for the Wildcats. They got to take the ball and they got to just march it down and get the score. You can't take the lead on the next possession, but they should put the ball in the end zone. They need points.
Rosemont, by the way, just got a touchdown. They're now down by 7 with 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter down at Rosemont.
Who will be visiting Wildcat Stadium next week?
That's right. Can you imagine if they're 0-2? That will be. When was the last time Rosemont was 0-2?
They'll be a little testy when they get into town, I believe. That short trip up Highway 3.
With Congressman wannabe Jeff Erdman. Interesting story, I think that is. He's seeking get the nomination to run for Congress. So right now, 3:14 to go in the third here in Wildcat country. It's gotten kind of cloudy here in Beach. Oh, we must have had I missed the penalty on the Wildcats as South is going to kick off from the Eagan 45.
Yeah, I don't think either one of us saw that, but they are definitely clearly on the other side of the 50 with the kicking tee.
Well, now if you're Lakeville, do you dare try the onside kick? I mean, if Eagan gets it, falls on it, it's the 35. Sundberg's been running the ball back pretty well for the Wildcats.
I wouldn't rule it out, actually, by how deep the kicker is right now.
They're thinking about it, and they are going to do it.
Let it go. Oh.
And ball is quickly out of
All
bounds. I thought I read something this year where kickers cannot kick it into the ground now on an onside kick, kind of like they used to
Interesting.
at the high school level.
At the high school level.
Yeah, I thought I had read that somewhere, so we'll have to double check that. But
I tell you what, that one that was a line drive. I don't know if it touched the ground until it got over to the track on the visitor's side of the field.
For those of you that took part in the Wildcat golf outing, we saw many drives that looked like that.
I watched it from the clubhouse with my hard hat.
I hope nobody shanked one that bad.
It was a great day for golf that day, too, much like today's, but great day for football. Weather's perfect.
So Eagan's going to take over on their own 32-yard line. 3:14 to go here, quarter number 3 on ETV. I was going to mention earlier, I understand these games are now going to be archived on YouTube, something that has not happened before for Wildcat sports. Understand last night's soccer games are already up there, and that this game will probably be up sometime on Monday. As sounds like Josh down in the truck was telling me, it sounds like they try to get them up the next business day.
Nice. And the games that we played in high school are on some brittle 8mm tape in some metal can in some locked room at the high school we went to. Technology.
Yeah, it just changed a little bit, hasn't it? So here we go with 3:14 to go. Hansen's going to throw, batted down.
Wow.
Yeah, incomplete pass. There you go. Yeah, Cougars thought it was a fumble.
Yeah, it's clearly an incomplete pass, but boy, it looks like a screen that was trying to be. The way the push came in, I would venture to say that was some sort of a screen play setting up.
Yep.
But a big jump, arms up, like the defensive players should be doing. You'll see it here on the replay.
49 coming through. He made the big play last time around. That's Shabazz. 2nd and 10.
Student body for the Cougars really getting into it.
Eagan student body, well.
Gonna give him something to cheer about here.
There's Lyons straight up. He'll get up near the 35. It's going to be a pickup of about 3.
That was an awful long run for those 3 yards. Tough yards. Brings up 3rd down.
I said I had to double check the spot on that one. I was thinking the exact same thing.
Uh-huh.
As the clock continues to tick.
And there needs to be a sense of urgency here on the part of the Wildcats. They're down 2 scores. They want to stop the bleeding here real quick and just get a good long drive out of this, maybe a field goal.
Hansen sticks a snap around his eyes. He's got to roll right. He's looking for some help. Gets over the cross to the 35, going deep. Nobody there, too far. It's McCollum, the intended receiver, but that pass was overthrown by...
Little scrum going on there.
We've got some extracurricular.
Little scrum in the...
Somebody just got knocked to the ground.
Yeah, I want to say that the quarterback might have been in the clutch. An Eagan player was trying to save his quarterback, I believe. The ref intervened, and well, we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, Hansen is definitely way off to the left off our screen. He was definitely upset. Coach Hansen out there quickly for the Wildcats trying to. Let's see if we can take a look here. Just kind of got pushed back, like boys will be boys.
It's hard to say.
Okay, and then there's...
And here comes the flag, so it's personal foul.
Against the... Roughing the passer, okay, on South.
And that's the only infraction, so... Well,
all right then.
They'll keep the drive moving. Awful lot of activity. Tempers get a little hot right now. Got to protect those quarterbacks, and it's a spirited contest. 2 scores, but still a pretty darn tight game.
I don't know if we've got that on replay again, but I'm curious what, because the roughing the passer had to happen right before that little scrum. And I don't know if Hansen said something to the guy on the ground, because he kind of stood over him there for a split second.
It looked like he was kind of standing over him.
Let's take a look here at the end of this play, right in the middle of your screen. He gets crunched at the line. Okay, here we go.
Boy, there's
body slam.
Oh.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And I don't even know if I saw a flag come out right there.
I can see why the quarterback was a little PO'd.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, that's clearly after the fact.
Very, Brock Lesnar, WWE-like on that one.
So, yeah.
So Eagan first down at the 50 here with 2:19 to go. Hansen.
Still a little trouble with those snaps.
Yeah. That ball
And
was
again,
incomplete as well.
the Cougars trying to make sure that wasn't some sort of a fumble.
I mean, let's look at the Eagan plays thus far in this quarter. 3-yard run, -7, a sack, incomplete pass, 3-yard run, roughing the passer penalty, and now an incompletion. South, meanwhile, is probably close to 100 yards of offense this quarter. And that pass is going to fall to the turf.
Trying to set up a little screen there. Again, we're having a little bit of problems on the exchange. The quarterback, the center, you can see not happy with himself. And just work it out. Just throws the timing off just a little bit.
Check this one out. Shakopee now leads Farmington 18-14 going to the fourth. Didn't see that one coming. Hansen, a lot of time, looking across the middle.
Wow, what a catch.
What a catch inside of about one,
Guess who, Mike?
There's 5 Cougars right there. Is that Tower?
Tate Sundberg.
Sundberg, yeah, should have known better.
We've called his name a few times. We got a Cougar that's down right now. Oh, there is a flag, though, Mike, too, and I'll tell you what, I think they're going to bring that one back.
Right where it had to be, though.
Yeah, it's too bad. It was a beautiful pass.
Yeah, Sundberg, right, and a great catch by Sundberg, laying out for that one.
We're going to get a low block, I think, up on the top there on the left side of the line. I think that's part of the reason for the player being down, and could be the flag as well. We'll see. That'd be unfortunate because he threaded the needle on that one so nicely. Cougar players up, chop block against. You could see the defensive end just kind of collapse. I don't even know if it was that essential that he put on such an emphatic block, but just the same flag. We're going to bring that one back, which is too bad. All day the quarterback had to find that receiver.
By the way, for those of you that are South fans watching us, North is now down 41-6.
That's getting out of hand in a hurry.
I guess Eden Prairie's pretty good again this year.
Yeah, they're
huh?
a pretty good team, I think. I've heard good things about them.
There is no way you could have convinced me 2 hours ago that North was going to go up there and get absolutely spanked.
Yeah, coming back with a loss probably, but not getting dominated like that.
No.
So we're going to back this one up to a 3rd and a mile.
We got finals rolling in already tonight, and we're still in the third quarter.
We are in the third
That's
quarter.
What happens when and Coach Hansen not going to like the explanation. He's asking for one.
I think there's some latitude on if you're in the box or you're not in the box. And, again, the player he was slow to get up, so he probably did clearly got hit, in that area.
I don't know if it shows up on any of our replays. That line play where it might have happened.
I think the one angle that I saw on the screen was just you see the defensive end just kind of duck out of the shot, basically.
Yeah. So it's, as you said, 3rd and about seemingly a mile. It's only 23, but unfortunately the Eagan offense is quite, other than that pass to Sundberg, it may feel like a mile right now. Hansen, he's going to need some time. He's got to roll, throws. And incomplete as Hansen's dropped. Little scrum behind the play. Hansen gets up peacefully. He's over there with Stelzer for South.
Targeting Sundberg on that play. Just a little short. He might have had some room to run if he would have been able to make the catch or actually complete the pass. It was pretty open.
I'm not so sure he was targeting Sundberg. It just ended up that way.
Yeah, he kind of threw it in that direction, I guess, maybe more than anything. He was under some intense heat.
So kicking it away for the Wildcats.
A lot of football left. End over end, but not very high. Another favorable bounce for the first time, but
so Cougars going to take over at their own 36-yard line. Drew Grunkley, the punt for the Wildcats. As I said, it's been a beach out here in Wildcat country. Week number 1, things looked really, do we dare say, sunny in the first half.
It was, actually.
The dark clouds have rolled in, shall we say?
If you look at the scoreboard for the moment, yes.
And I'll stop there trying to do any kind of weather analogy.
That's right.
Best I can do. Our stats guy, Evan Cook, is looking at me and rolling his eyes. Hey, pal, it's week 1.
It's week 1. We'll get more material as the season wears on.
Here's Brecky. Nelson is Jacobson still out of the game for the Cougars.
Well defended.
Might lose a yard there. Good job of the defense to spread things out.
Well, the defensive ends have done a great job of taking on that lead blocker and turning him in so that the running backs have to turn in as well. They had good linebacker support. The defensive line freed themselves up, scraped down the line. There's a couple-yard loss.
So we're down to 119 and counting. I would assume the Cougars will be taking their sweet time, shall we say, coming out of the huddle here.
They got 2-score lead. There's no hurry for them right now.
Yep. Brecky's going to come near side, looking to throw. He's got his tight end coming across the middle up to the 45, and he lowers his shoulder with a boom. A little extra pushing and shoving behind the play. West in there for the Wildcats, but there's the big tight end we haven't talked about since the opening quarter. 86, Riley Mallman, a freshman who is 6'9".
220 pounds.
Who likes to spend time in the weight room, we were told. That kid's got the potential to be a beast in a good way.
That was a nice completion and a nice tackle. 3 Wildcats converged on him and took him down. Big kid.
So inside the final minute of play, quarter number 3 in the home opener for the Eagan Wildcats. And this is the up back, spins around, falls ahead to the 48-yard line. Maybe a yard that time on the carry. Looks like it was Nelson, I believe, the ball carrier that time. Stumpf, among others, in there for the Wildcats.
Pretty strong line play at different times tonight. There's been times when the back has gotten a couple yards and that momentum has bounced off that first tackle, but there's been many times when they've converged on him and kind of made it tough going inside there.
Okay. I'm going to get upset with Mike Grant again here in a second. Brecky to throw, and nearly picked off.
Almost deja vu from that first half.
End of the third quarter, by the way, on that one. So we'll get to the Twitter feed here. Up 41-6 in the fourth. Eden Prairie goes for it and recovers an onside kick.
Ooh.
You're up by 35.
Mm-hmm. Probably can kick it away.
Are you trying to make a statement there?
Here's another look at that last one. I don't think it was uncatchable by everybody, but it kind of got a nice little ooh and a ah out of the student body here over on the Eagan side.
So you can see the 4 fingers up in the air by the Cougars. Oh, they want 1.8 actually on the clock. Okay.
All right, 1.8.
So we're not quite at the end of the third quarter. It's going to be 3rd down and 9 after the incompletion.
This will be the final play of the third quarter.
As long as we're penalty free.
Correct.
And Brecky's going to throw. It's a little curl. He's got his man. Cuts to the outside, down to the 31-yard line.
Not a bad way to end the third quarter.
Number 11, Haddock, that time with the reception. Haddock, pardon me. So that's going to be a pickup down to the 30-yard line. I think we're back at the 21 yards, I believe, on that. So first down at the Eagan 30. Teams are going to switch ends.
It has been a game of bigger plays.
We got a Wildcat player being helped off by the trainer.
Yeah, it looks like a number 10.
That would be Hofstad. I should look. Has Melville been back in the game?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I suppose when you're losing running backs, you go a little deeper in the well. The game's in hand. They're not walking away with it, but there's no sense of urgency.
Well, yeah, we haven't seen Jacobson for them. I mean, I'm thinking Melville, the D-back here for the Wildcats.
Oh.
I don't see him on the sideline, so he might be out there.
That was the cramp versus something a little bit more serious.
Over here on the near side, a while back. So
all right.
Cats down by 14 as we start the final quarter. Dare we say of regulation? We could dare say it, right?
I think so. Again, two Cougars on the move.
Yep. Here, part of the beach out.
You can see the beach out down there. The Cats need to step up here, and they're getting deep though on the Wildcat 30. It's they're within striking distance.
Yep.
They need to put up a stop here, and this is when we'll see if the game can kind of turn on itself right here and right now.
Well, now let's see too if South continues to mix the run and the pass effectively, which they've done. Or do you just say that, hey, the clock is more of our ally right now than is more important maybe than points at this point?
Well,
points would be great.
Points would be great, but you're right. I think I see out of Krebs and his staff, it's like, you know what, the clock can be our friend here if we put it to our use. And as we say that, Lakeville South calls a timeout.
You know, you kind of got to laugh, don't you? You come out of a break like that, and you take time out.
We're talking up how he's going to let the clock run. Let's keep it on the ground. Not we're going to keep it doubly stopped because it wasn't even running. But they may have been a miscommunication or just kind of reiteration of, hey, this is it, guys. Let's push down this last fourth quarter, this final quarter, the final 12 minutes, and get this done.
You know, we mentioned Coach Krebs for Lakeville South, and I will say this about Coach Krebs and Coach Hansen for the Wildcats. These are two guys that get it. They're very smart, very talented, but they're very personable. And you can see the way they talk about the pride of just small steps by their teams.
Yep.
You know, just make it a little play here, a little play there. They understand it's a process.
Well, two guys fresh in their program, so they absolutely have to pay attention to the process, to the relationships that make that process go. They do. They both got it.
Yeah. I think both are going to ultimately be successful at their schools. I think South might go to the false start there. Brecky taken down on the sack. Who was that bursting through? It was 53. Aldred coming through for the Wildcats.
Big play. And again, too, one of those plays that you might look back and say, that was a play that helped turn the tide.
It's going to be a loss on the play of 8.
Wow.
So it's 2nd and 18 upcoming for the Cougars. And yeah, boy, he burst through that line. 11:25 and counting.
Clock does run.
Yep.
And it's not really hurting anybody right now. There's plenty of time,
Yep.
even for the Wildcats, but they need big plays like that.
Both teams do have 3 timeouts if you're looking way ahead. Here's Brecky's going to throw far side. And incomplete off the hands of their main
Might have been
receiver.
through the hands and off the helmet. That was a bullet.
Yep, Ben Huddock.
That will stop the clock and bring up that third. And we've seen that third a mile before.
Right.
You know, Cats actually converted, but they had that chop block penalty, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So they moved. The Cats have mixed it up and moved the ball too. So big third play. Big third down play here coming up for the Cougars.
Rosemont down by 7 with under 5 minutes remaining at Irish Stadium.
Getting interesting up the road.
Boy, so we could have the Irish here next week, 0-2.
And again,
Timeout taken by the Cougars.
And again, their mentality might be, you know, right now we're not saying we got to save these, we got to need something miscommunication, and this is a big play for them right now. They could be in 4 down territory if they get a nice chunk of this back, but if they don't move the ball at all, they don't want to let the Wildcats start on their own 40.
Hey, I want to put a plug out real quick for people remember Troy and Josh Brown played high school football here at Eagan High School not too long ago. Well, their dad, Doug, is now battling cancer, and they need help. Basically, the GoFundMe page has been set up for Doug. I believe it's pancreatic cancer, father of 5, very involved in the Eagan community. So, Doug Brown, like I said, he's got a GoFundMe page. Check out people at the high school if you can't find out what's going on. But a big booster of Eagan athletics. His kids played football, hockey. I can't remember if they played baseball as well, but faith is very important to Doug, but they're just looking for a little help right now from the Eagan community. So, of course, we wish the best for the Brown family.
Absolutely.
Yeah, South is going deep. That's going to be incomplete here on 3rd down.
Well, it seems like they're bringing a wholesale change of personnel here, so you'd have to assume that the Cougars are kicking.
One would assume trying to pinch the Wildcats deep in their own zone with You see 10:58 to go. Let's be optimistic. I'm going to dare say regulation again.
Yep, I like that.
Here's Sundberg back deep for the Wildcats. He's got his cleats on about the 9-yard line.
Pretty sure-handed kid. He's fair caught a few punts tonight, and it didn't.
And this one he will probably fair catch again, right about where he was. He mishandles it. Thought about the run.
I think he got it back.
Yeah.
We talk about how sure-handed he is, and it kind of squibbed through. Not a good place to have that happen either.
Trying to see first man down was number 19 for the Lakeville South Cougars. That's Drew Ehrenholz, senior D-back.
A little bit of excitement for sure, but he could have fair caught it, and essentially the ball would be right where it is now. So
Eagan's going to start on their own. What are we at here? About the
8, maybe?
8-yard line, maybe? Yeah, it looks like the 8.
I thought it was closer to the goal line than it was, and then I got a better look. So definitely in the deep, in their own zone.
Well, Cats, they need to go 92 yards to get to pay dirt. Hanson, he's the gunslinger back at quarterback, all alone in the backfield. Low snap from his own end zone. Tries to set up the screen near side, out across the 10, 15, stutter step, out near the 20-yard line. I believe is that Lyons or is that LaChance? It is LaChance.
And it's good for a first down, too, I believe.
Yep, Cam LaChance, the Wildcat tight end. And he's going to be, the ball is to be spotted. Did they move the sticks? They did.
Move them.
So 10 yards pass, that's a first. That's a good start for the Cats. Again, set up that play very well. Lyons in the backfield. And he'll get the ball. Yeah, now across the 20, 23 maybe.
Those are tough yards, but boy, those legs did not stop moving, Mike.
Yeah, we saw it in the Minnetonka game where the Cats really got gassed. I'm not seeing it as much tonight. I mean,
I would agree.
A lot of guys still going both ways.
Well, it's about 10 degrees cooler, at least, than it was last week at Minnetonka. But I would agree with the same thing. The pace of the game has been slower, and that might have something to do with it as well.
And they're going to hand it off. Tries to find some running room. Cuts back to the other side. Lyons bounces outside. And he's dropped down at about the 26-yard line. In on the stop was Cody Larson for the South Cougars.
It's going to set him up for 3rd and short. And, I don't think that you can look at this drive so far and say anything about the choice of play calling or the way that they've been run. Nice pass for a first down, move the sticks. Couple of runs, chunking out that yardage that you need for the first down.
Now you got a 3rd and 3. Do you run the ball again? And it looks like Coach Hanson says they do, and they should not have gobbled up. Trying to run that one right into the middle. The only man there was Borowitz, the big nose tackle for the Cougars. And that's going to set up 4th and what are they going to? They're going to spot the ball at the 5th or the 25. Check that. So it's going to be 4th and 3. How much of a gambler is Coach Hanson?
Well, if the ball was, if it was 4th and 3 on the 35 or the 36, maybe. It looks like they're going for it. Yeah.
I mean, remember last week at Tonka, they were about their own 35 early in the game.
The defense has shown some ability to stand up, so we'll see here. But let's get this first down first.
But you miss here, you put South basically in the red zone to start. Instead, you swing it out near side tower, 31st down for the Wildcats out to the 32-yard line.
He's going to move the sticks.
Very safe pattern.
Yeah, it was a real safe play call. We talked earlier about the teams getting gassed, and I'll tell you what, the guys that we can't tell, we don't get to see them move a whole lot, unfortunately. That's the lineman, and I think the play before this last one was a perfect example of guys in the middle just getting tired.
Kincaid and Hanson lead the Cats all the way back. Here's Lyons. Bumps off a couple, and he's wrapped up by a number of them, including first man in. First time we called his name, and that Pete Eklund, number 48.
Another 4-yard run that results in about a half a yard gain.
Right.
Again, too, like we said, those guys in the middle between the tackles, they are just sucking air because a lot of them are, pushing around guys that are every bit as big as them, and some are going both ways.
Hanson's going to go across the middle. And it nearly picked off out there. Torberg on the coverage. Tower, I believe, the intended. I checked that back. Sundberg was coming from the right. Tower was coming from the left.
Again, too, he's gone to Sundberg a number of times tonight and successfully. I want to say almost that as Sundberg finished that route, he knew he was running himself into several Cougar players, and that might have I think it might have gone off his hands. So, but it wasn't a drop. It was just kind of a combination of I'm running this long route and I'm going to get hit.
So you need 9 for the first. Hanson's rolling. Throws it away. You're going to need 9 for the first, except next time it's going to be 4th down.
We got a flag on the play here, and I don't know the grounding rule at this level.
That can't be grounding. He's outside the pocket.
Yeah, so, they might have roughed him up a little bit outside the after he went out of bounds, so we'll see what the call is here.
Official's way over on the other side, right in front of the Cougar bench.
Distinctly threw the flag right towards the quarterback and the couple guys that were giving chase. Be a great break for the Wildcats, and we talked about how penalties really kind of opened up the door for the Hornets last week when
how do you call grounding on that? Loss of down. So Coach Hanson is standing out, 5 yards on the field. He's looking for an explanation.
Yeah, I don't know that he's going to get one that's going to satisfy his question. He's trying to hold his staff back.
Yeah.
I know these officials put a lot of time and energy into being clear on the rules here, but I think in this instance I might side with Coach Hanson. The quarterback was within several yards only of the sideline, so it's really kind of an iffy play here.
Well, Rick Hardy is our official tonight. And Eagan's going to be forced to punt it away on 4th and 17.
Yeah, you don't have much choice, do you, Mike? It's 7:35 left. You're down 2 scores. You don't convert. I mean, it's 4th and a million miles here. So,
and I don't know if that rule got changed as well in high school football. I can't imagine why it would, but low liner.
All right, a little bit of a roll.
Bounce,
sure.
Down to about the 42-yard line with 7:27 to go.
Half a quarter.
Still in regulation.
Dare we say. And here we go. Now the Wildcat defense, they've had a pick. They've had a couple of near picks. They've had some pressure. They've shut down between the tackles. They've contained. They've driven. They've done at different times, they've done everything just right. They got to put it together one drive here, and they need that ball back within a couple minutes to make a run at this thing.
I think a 3 and out would be absolutely
that would be great.
Required. Wow, Rosemont just tied it up with 1.5 minutes to go.
Wow.
64-yard pass play. A little excitement down in Irish Stadium all of a sudden. Here, Cougars trying to put this one away. They're up by 14 with 7.5 to go. And the Cat defense making the stand there we just talked about a moment ago as Nelson gobbled up by a number of Wildcats. Saw the first man in there. Looks like it was... I got to love that name for 13, Cole Sackmaster.
You got to like that name.
His brother, I believe, was here last year. Wasn't he? So a 2-yard run that time. There's Cole, big number 13, 6'1", 200, just a junior. Boy, you look at the varsity roster for the Wildcats. I mean, I know they're overall young, but they have just 2 sophomores on the varsity squad right now.
Yeah, our second and third string quarterbacks, no less. They're dressing a few more, but look at this.
Good play by the Eagan D once again.
Again, too, we're looking for that one play or series of plays where we can say that's the series of downs that kept us in this football game, and we might be witnessing it right now. Yep. 3rd and long.
Let's be honest, this play right here is, I mean, there's still 6 minutes to go, but this play's huge.
Yeah, it is huge. And, you wonder now, do the Cougars, do they just take their chances between the tackles or maybe a pitch and then punt it away if they need to, or do they let the clock stop on an incompletion? Big pressure up front from the Cats would be huge right now.
Well, Nelson's in the backfield with Brecky. And he's going to get the ball straight ahead. Pyle moves out near midfield, still moving.
Oh, boy.
Boy, he is going to be about a yard shy. He needed 12. He got about 11 and a half.
You know, they're probably going to go for it if they didn't get it. That's too bad because that yards after contact was almost every yard he picked up on that one. So call it 4th and 1, but it's 4-down territory. I mean, not territory per se, but it's a 4-down scenario. Looks like they're going to make a wholesale change and kick it away.
That call surprises me.
I'm kind of surprised, too.
If they do indeed kick it.
That's true. Well, now you got to contend with the bad snap in this timeout Wildcats.
Timeout,
you know what? I'm not so sure that I'd rather they're out here ready to kick it. Let's let them kick it. Now the Lakeville has a chance of thinking about it. Say, well, you know.
So Cats will have 2 timeouts left. Lakeville South has 1 with 5.5 to go. South has scored all 14 points this half. So this was a 14-all game at the break. It's going to be a
missed opportunity on a point after by the Wildcats going into the half or near the end of the first half where they could have taken a 1-point lead into the locker room. Goes blocked with the 2-point conversion on their first score. So it's going to be Sundberg deep for the Wildcats. He's probably going to field it somewhere around the 20. He pops a seam. This could get exciting. Again, too, I always get excited about these punts, these snaps. You never know what can happen.
Well, the ball's at the 48. Sundberg is standing at about the 18. So I guess he has back in return formation. Faked it. And look at this. Needs to beat one man. And down to the 4-yard line. The up back takes it deep.
Again, they were probably running the fake to begin with. I'm not so sure what I needed to talk about. Let's set up a return and go. I hope they didn't rethink that. Like I said, you and I were both surprised that it wasn't 4-down situation for them anyways. Well-run play.
I don't know if we've got the replay, but 44 yards they're saying officially. Spotted at the Wildcat 4.
5:22 to play. Well, let's see if the defense wants to take one more stab at a big stand.
I believe it was Stelzer that ran it.
He got out of that backfield in a hurry.
I thought it was 45.
I believe so.
I got to admit, I looked up and went, uh-oh.
This doesn't look like a punt to me.
Timeout, Cougars. That'll be their final one.
But they're just they're making us wrong all night. It's like they won't call timeout, and they do. They do call timeout, they won't. They should be going for it on 4th down. They fake the punt. It's that's why we're up here in the booth and they're on the sideline.
Again, like I said, I don't know if they had the replay in the truck of that last play, but 5:15 to go. South is going to look to cement this one away.
Yeah, this could do it.
Here we go. Watch. Let me see where the ball goes. I don't even know where it went.
Well, the kicker really sold it. Yeah, the kicker sold it by
absolutely
faking the bad snap.
Yeah.
And Sundberg saved the touchdown.
But I couldn't tell if they snapped it left to that kid.
It looks like it might have went to the up back to the left of the center. So well run.
Yep. Gorgeous night in Wildcat Country. We got a pretty moon coming up across the stadium from
I'm not sure if any of the cameramen can catch that, but it is pretty right above the student section over there on the Lakeville side.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Whose students have had plenty to cheer about
they
this
have.
half.
A little quiet on the beach over on this side right now.
There's Brecky under center. The give. Nelson cuts it up. Touchdown Cougars. I don't think he was touched till he crossed the goal line. And you can warm up the bus.
You know, it's typically little consolation to say that the score is a little less indicative of how close or not close the game was, but this falls under one of those. We went into halftime tied at 14, and then we're just talking big plays, and that fake punt was one of those big plays. It's a lot of games come down to big plays, and this one came down to a couple on the roughing the passer, the chop block on the 3rd down conversion. Little things, but boy, you put enough little things together and you get a big outcome. So Cats got a little bit of time, try to go down and make it interesting, but they're going to have a real sense of urgency.
Well, you look at that last series for the Cats when they called that grounding penalty, which we'll have to ask Coach Hansen about that one because I don't know what the explanation was to him.
Yeah, I don't know that it was going to be sufficient, but it was it was a drive killer. If I'm not mistaken, I think we started to get something going, and then that was that killed it completely.
So, as we said, Eagan is going to be home September the 15th. The Rosemont Irish are coming to town. Irish kick a field goal in the first overtime possession. They're now up 17-14, so Edina has the ball. And it looks like Shakopee's up on Farmington 18-16 with 21 seconds to go.
Oh.
It's like Shakopee just took a safety.
Yeah, some exciting football around town tonight.
Here we got 5:10 to go. Lakeville South appears to be on their way to improving to 1-1 on the young season. Eagan Wildcats, signs of promise. But unfortunately, it looks like the W is going to be elusive once again tonight. And wrapped up with Sundberg deep. But there were a number of Cougars in there. First man down might have been number 31 for the Cougars, and that's Cade Arnolds. 31 Arnolds, he's 6'1", 180, a freshman.
Wow.
Another one for Lakeville South, another freshman playing varsity.
Yep.
And we mentioned Egan's got 2 sophomores listed on the varsity roster. One is the backup quarterback. Or one of the backup quarterbacks, I should say.
Yeah, you get both those freshmen that we've talked about tonight for the Cougars have got some really good size already.
Yeah. Stay corrected, the sophomore, you're right. They're both the backup quarterbacks.
Yep.
Evans and Gugino. Jonah Evans, Ethan Gugino. Hanson, near side. Tower. Cats are going to get something going here. Tower cuts to the outside. Can he get the out? He gets
big pop at the end.
31, 15-yard pickup.
Well, clock stops as he gets popped out of bounds.
Well, if you're Eagan at this point, you just got to look at the positives. Make a nice drive here, something to build on.
Sure.
Obviously, the first, 20 minutes of this half have not gone your way.
No, it wasn't. And nothing you can even really pinpoint as being like, ugh, if we just would have. It was just kind of slow, methodical football, a few mishaps, a few miscues.
There's that same combo, Hanson to Tower.
Yeah, I mean, it's successful.
6 yards.
Clock will continue to run, though, and that's, it's kind of a moot point almost now being down 3 scores.
Right.
But they are going to continue to try to move the ball, of course.
Which is what you have to do.
Absolutely. It's one of them situations where you say to yourself, I can't pinpoint exact. There's no blatant spot where you say that's where the game got away from us.
Right.
It was just a miscue here, a stall drive there.
And it's going to be 3rd and about 4 after the short run there by the Wildcats.
The pit's still in attendance. The beach party's yet to end, but a couple of the fans are starting to get in out of this 50-some-odd degree weather. It's still beautiful out, but they're going, that's a little chillier than I'm used to.
By the way, Burnsville beats Eastview 12-7. So I just kind of checked the score updates here. Cats looking to get something going here, and it's going to be 4th and long. Actually, South says they have the football.
They do say they have it.
The officials say.
I didn't see where it coughed up. Looks like the Wildcats are going to retain possession.
Yeah, it looked like Lions did fall on the football.
Wow.
That's one thing. Egan's not turned the ball over tonight.
No, that's actually a good point.
Well, he definitely got popped.
Yeah, no, that ball definitely got his own fumble back.
Yep.
Well,
you never know at the bottom of the pile, though.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he was not protecting the ball by any means. Just a really well-placed fist as he kind of came in and tackled the football.
Timeout. Wildcats. That'll leave them 1. 3.5 to go, but they're down by 21.
Again, I think the important thing for, at least for me to remember, and I think for the Wildcat fans, watching, a lot of positives to build on, and not like a situation where you go, this game was never within reach. This game from the first quarter on was just a foregone conclusion. Not the case tonight by any means. The Cats have a lot to build on from this game. They've got some tough opponents on the schedule still. They got some winnable games on the schedule still too. They got to keep moving forward, and I think we all know that Coach Hanson's going to keep that trajectory going.
And they're going to get an irate Rosemont squad who has lost 20-17 to Edina in overtime. All right, so the Irish are going to come in here at 0-2. The Cats, barring a miracle comeback here in the last 3.5 minutes, are going to fall to 0-2. Shakopee officially beats Farmington 18-16.
Wow.
Huh. Well, you just never know in football, do you?
You don't.
And the Cats, nice play, gets it out to the 45-yard line. Tower, once again,
I think it's situations like this. Now, you don't want to be in a situation down 3 scores, of course, but I think it helps you open up the playbook.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think what the Cats are finding out now is there's some things that maybe they didn't situationally feel they could do earlier on that they're going, you know what, that worked.
Yeah.
This matchup worked. And so that's, if there is a positive in being down, that might be it. You turn to a page of the playbook that maybe you didn't look at earlier because it wasn't part of your game plan.
Tower's got 3 catches on this drive, and watching him last week and seeing earlier this game, I kind of wonder why they didn't go to him more often.
Well, he seems like he's got good hands.
Good hand. Lyons has had a good game though out of the backfield, so you keep him going.
Yep.
And again, if Tower makes some nice catches here, people are going to think about it, and it's going to spread this offense out.
He's a sturdy kid. He gets good yards after catch. He took a big hit down here like the 35 a couple plays ago, and stood up just nicely.
Hanson goes incomplete.
That pass got to that receiver in a big hurry. I think it might have caught him off guard a little bit.
Chance, the intended target, coming across from his tight end spot.
But no, I think the only thing you can do is say, hey, listen, we're going to learn a lot from this game. Plus, we got Rosemont coming in, so we don't have a lot of time to sit and worry about what went wrong. We'll figure it out, players. You guys just follow the next week's game plan.
Yep, absolutely.
And these guys will do just that.
3rd and 10, just over 3 to go. Hanson going to roll. He's getting a scramble. No, he'll throw it across the middle. He's got his man first down inside the 20, or inside the 30, down to about the 26-yard line. That was McCollum on the reception for the Wildcats.
A lot of heat coming in through between the tackles there, but was able to sneak around, find himself some room, and again, flirting with that line of scrimmage, but made the pass and the completion.
Yeah, 19 yards on that play. Now let's see the Cats punching in from here. Hanson, he's going to come near side. Tower, 30. Hangs onto the ball, down to about the 27-yard line. No, check that, inside the 20 to about the 17-yard line.
I'm looking forward to seeing the box score in this game because we've moved the ball both on the ground and through the air. I bet you the numbers don't look terribly bad.
No.
Couple of nice drives.
Good set. So let's just see him finish it off. Something to build on. Here's Lyons. 15-10. 5 on his feet. Can he dance his way in? He can. 6 points, Eagan.
Boy, I tell you what, that is a tightrope act. First, it looked like he was going to get double tackled at about the 5. Got his balance knocked off, but was able to keep the feet going in the last 2 yards. He was tiptoeing on that line. The replay might show it nicely.
His Tower downfield to block.
Oh, he just one big massive juke, and then he just tiptoed along the line. Well done.
Yep.
Again, too, we're evenly matched against these guys. We're going to be evenly matched on the schedule down the road this season. Things are going just as I think, not as well as we had hoped, but they're certainly not going badly by any means.
Lewis with the kick, and it is good.
A lot of heat through the middle again, but splits the uprights.
Yep. So 35-21, Cats within 2 scores with 2 minutes to go. And you see what's left of the pit, the Eagan cheer squad here tonight. Here's that replay. Watch the juke you mentioned. Wow.
He was awful close there, but we had an official right on the line. Felt he stayed in bounds. Touchdown, Eagan.
Absolutely. So 35-21.
I venture to say we're going to see a fairly well-scripted series of plays here out of the Cougars. Could be an onside kick, of course. I would suspect it, actually.
Some of the faithful sticking it out here in Wildcat country.
A couple hoodies, couple jackets.
It's gotten a little chilly tonight. I mean, it was, like we said, about 70 at game time. It's probably dropped almost upper 50s, I'm going to say, at this point.
I recognize a couple Booster Club members up there. They've got an investment, emotionally into this program, so they're sticking around no matter what.
Got the blankets going. And again, thank everybody for coming out tonight. Friday Night Lights, Wildcat country. Got to come out and take part in it again. September the 15th, the Rosemont Irish coming up here.
Big crosstown rival.
And that's the last Eagan home game for about a month.
Yep, they go on that 3-game road trip.
So, yeah, come on out, support the Wildcats.
I think
Cats were offsides.
Yeah, and I don't think the ball quite went 10, so.
Something to work on in practice. I'm sure South will decline. Run a couple of plays. As long as they don't score, we're going to look at a 35-20 final.
That's a great little stadium up the road at the Rosemont High School down there in that little depression there. I remember back in the day, the old Minnesota Conference, which was the one and only Lakeville, Sibley, my alma mater, Northfield, Rosemont, Apple Valley, Northfield, New Prague,
Red Wing was
Farmington.
in there.
Red Wing came on board near the end of that. Great conference back in the day.
Well, I went to Rosemont back in the day when it was still Minnesota, and it seemed like in football every year it came down to Rosemont and the Valley.
Well, you know what? You guys had a strong program under the SADEX and whatnot. There was some good football back in those days.
It was just after that.
Oh, was it?
There's Nelson coming
the
across.
Youngster in the
stays on his feet.
Look at this.
And he gets down inside the 35. Wow. But, and you got to remember, back then, Apple Valley played their home games at the Irish Stadium.
Absolutely. I remember playing both Rosemont and Apple Valley at that same stadium.
So, it was just a matter of which side did you sit on for the big game every week.
Yep, the Spartans almost pulled off a 2-0 win against Valley, courtesy of a broadcaster safety that he scored for the Spartans, and wasn't to be. 7-2 we lost that game.
It's funny you can remember things like that.
It is indeed.
But do you remember anything from, say, chemistry class?
I was going to say last week. And by the way, no, I don't remember much from chemistry.
Yeah.
I wrote a song about that. Don't know much about history. Now, hopefully here the Cats can just put up a nice stand here because the score, indicative of a close, well-fought game. Both teams ran balanced attacks, moved the ball through the air, on the ground. Not a lot of major blunders. Nothing where you could say, oh, my goodness, there was the turning point. It just didn't quite work out for the Wildcats tonight, but a pretty well-established game plan and executed pretty well as well.
60 seconds to go in this one. Well, Lakeville South taking their sweet time. There's Nelson once again. He's had a nice game going on. He didn't get the start, but he, actually he's come in nice job. You hope Jacobson's not out for any kind of an extended period of time for the Cougars. They've already lost. As we said, they're number 6, Gumminson, to an MCL.
They could just be being cautious.
Sure.
Again, we thought it was a cramp, but they carried him off. But no, you're right. Jacobson's done a great job.
So it should be the final play of the football game here. It's going to be 3rd and 8, victory formation.
Yeah.
So Lakeville South is about to match their win total from last year. And their one win last year was
against the Wildcats.
So Lakeville South, Tyler Krebs gets his first win as the Cougars coach, and he'll get to face his former squad, the Burnsville Blaze, next week in the Lakeville South home opener. Coach Ben Hansen still searching for win number 1 here in his second year at Eagan. And they'll come back. They will play the Rosemont Irish here on the 15th. Teams are going to shake hands. Ben, final thoughts as we wrap this one up?
Well, like I said, I think there's a lot to build on here. I'm looking forward to next week. They have a tough opponent, but I do think that there's the extremely positive. I don't think anybody should feel badly about the way this game went, aside from the fact that we lost.
Yeah, so You see the team shaking hands. So the Cats are going to be back at it next week. We plan to be here on ETV, and for those of you watching us on the World Wide Web, we hope you'll check in 7 o'clock our time next week. The Rosemont Irish, the Eagan Wildcats. So on behalf of the entire ETV crew, Ben Merwin, I'll get your name right, Ben Merwin. Our stat guy, Evan Cook, Mike Cook saying thanks for being with us. We will see you next time, including Jeff LaPointe. We will all see you next time for Wildcat football on ETV.